We begin this morning before a meeting can officially be called. Actually, Zach, because you kind of know about this, because we did the preview at the end of Mike's solo session on Thursday nights. Who and how did you send to get Burchill? Because none of you guys have seen him since the whole the incident at the none of you have seen Burchill since the incident at the end of the last story arc.
Lita would have sent probably one of her staffers.
Okay, so before the staffer can get there, however,
the day before.
Okay,
like this would have been like the day before the trip. Lita would have sent a letter basically stating. It would actually have been a very simple note that said, it would have just it basically would have said, meeting at the tavern before, like, hours before the trip, early on blah blah blah.
Okay.
Early in the day, and then basically just like we have things to discuss.
Okay. So Burchill, you did receive. Okay, technically Burchill did not receive that letter because of what was going on with him. Maria did, however, and she passed along that message to you, Burchill. Take it however you wish. However, before we can truly begin with that meeting, we begin in Burchill's home, and Burchill, you are where you were before, just laying in your empty bathtub with a bottle of wine, and then suddenly, and Maria walks in. Burchill, someone's knocking on the door. I'll get it. Sorry, again, Robbie, force of habit. It's like, Robbie, there's someone here to see you. He says he's your brother-in-law.
Tell him to fuck off. No way, I'll just do it myself.
It's like, are you sure? Okay.
Burchill walks in, still gripping the empty bottle just in case.
Okay. Are you like holding it behind your back, or do you not care whether or not it's seen?
I don't care whether or not it's seen.
Okay.
So when Burchill gets to the door, okay, you have 10 fucking seconds to justify why you're here.
It's like, and for everyone else to God damn it, Google. Copy image address. And for everyone else, for a visual aid, this is the man who is at Burchill's door.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, like
10, 9, 8.
It's like what? It's like apparently, according to you, we're family. Is it so wrong for a man to try to get to know his brother-in-law? May I come in?
No, you may not. Burchill closes the door behind him, but stays outside.
It's just like, It's like, I understand you're angry. I really do. But really, is it really so wrong to try to be friends? After all, regardless of how things go between my father, you and I are still going to be family when it's over.
They think I'm this stupid to fall for this bullshit.
Of course not. Why would I ever think that about you? I know of your lady. I know of your reputation. I know you're not stupid. Which is why I'm not bullshitting. It's merely fact. After all, you are married to my sister, are you not? Or did you not get married to my sister, and you've been lying to us?
Sense motive.
Your battery's gonna drain.
Yep. Yeah. Roll for sense motive.
17.
Oh
wait, no, I forgot paper than me, so that's 19.
This guy is a very difficult person to read. With that roll, unfortunately, the only thing you can get is like in some in some ways, he actually reminds you a lot of Maranak. Cause like, you know,
That
he's
doesn't
got
help.
like, but like, you know, he's got that very hard to read face. He always just like speaks indirectly, and like, I will give you this. I'll give you this. Clearly, just from his demeanor and from knowing him as you do, he's clearly not just here to say hi.
Cut the bullshit, boy. What do you want?
It's like, hey, you have no right to call me boy. You and I are practically the same age. But if you are insisting, there is a reason I am here. Aside from trying to be friendly, my father and I, in going through that contract that you and him had signed, had noticed that neither you, your accountant, nor your notary took the time to pick out a time and date for.
Yes, there was.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, of course there was.
Okay.
Yeah, as a person who was partied at a solo session, he picked a time and date, dude.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm terribly sorry. That skipped my mind. Well, retconning was like that. Retconning that was like there is actually a reason I'm here beyond just saying hi. It was to drop off this. You watch as he reaches into his shirt and pulls out a piece of parchment and hands it to you. And just like, I'm sure you have better things to do today other than talk to your dear old brother-in-law. So I'll leave you be. I'll see you soon regardless. And with that, he turns around and walks away.
Burchill, before he leaves, hey, just one thing. You better not show your fucking face on my property ever again, or else after. And if you do, after this bout with your father, I will grab you, take you to your home, and feed you to your own mother.
It's like,
I'm going to roll intimidate on this.
Sure, go right ahead.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Burchill's been pushed to this point.
Mm-hmm. Is
25.
Mike is 25?
Yes.
He doesn't turn around, but he does say to you, threatening your own family. Is no one safe from the wrath of House Ford? And then with that, he walks away.
No one is safe.
Household, no. Robert Burchill, yes.
He's ignoring you at this point. You can't tell whether or not you shook him because he didn't turn around, but he did still get that last word in before he left. Before we continue, Mike, is Temme still there? Because his video cut out.
Yeah,
Okay.
He just let his computer die because he lost his dice.
Okay.
I'm still here. I'm present.
Wait.
Okay.
How did his computer die because he lost his dice?
All right. Well, in any
On battery.
Priorities.
He was trying to figure out which dice was which because he doesn't organize them.
all right. Well, in any case,
Took.
Ken. So, now that he is gone, Bart, would you like to look at that piece of parchment you have received?
I guess at a safe distance in case it's poison.
Roll a perception check to see if it is poison.
Yeah, in case it's anthrax, that's the name.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually just a flyer for Anthrax the band.
Mm-hmm. What is this heavy metal inspired by the music of Lita Ford?
30.
Wow.
You walk some distance away from the house and very carefully open it, and then you just dump it out real quick. There is no poison. There's nothing in the envelope other than a sheet of parchment.
Okay, what does it say?
It is a formal invitation to your and Randall Anslin's upcoming duel. And I'll give you this for your sense motive earlier. As you are a participant in this duel, you do not think this invitation is for you.
Ha.
It's for Maria, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It does not say anywhere on it that it is for Maria, but that's kind of the vibe you're getting. And in fact, every single one of you guys who actually has a home address this morning when you received your mail, all got formal invitations to this upcoming duel between Burchill and Randall.
So Knox gets nothing because he lives in a basement of a basement.
Yeah.
between two buildings.
Yeah, like Knox and Anaris, you get nothing. But if Rowan was here, he would be receiving one of these two. So yes, all of you, yes, even you, Enzo, all of you have received formal invitations to Burchill's upcoming duel. Which, by the way, is scheduled exactly 1 month and 1/2 from today. So you guys will have time to do your diplomatic mission and then get back. But then as soon as you guys get back, this is happening. And for the sake of expediency, unless Ken, you want to do anything more, that this is everything that you guys know as you walk into the meeting this morning. But before we get to that, Ken, with this information, do you want to do anything else?
No.
Okay then. Actually curious. Did you ever tell Maria about your upcoming duel?
Why wouldn't I?
Okay, because that's going to inform a few things that happen later. But anyways, with that out of the way, you guys said you were meeting in the tavern earlier. Just a minor clarification: are you guys meeting in the Red Velvet Room, or are you guys meeting in the guild hall where you guys normally meet?
Privacy'd probably be best to be.
Okay. I mean, you guys will get privacy in both the Red Velvet Room and the Guild Hall. However, I will give you this. The Red Velvet Room is closer to the gate of the city, so, like, as soon as you're done with this meeting, you can just walk right on outside to the carriages.
Yep.
Let's have this meeting at the Starbucks at the Church of Eternal Fire.
Unfortunately, that's in the opposite direction.
There's this cafe in Eastern Sanctuary that I just love, and I got Lita hooked up.
I mean, there's a good cafe in Temple Square, but the biggest problem is you have to deal with the burning elf smell right there.
Not only that, but that cafe does not offer any privacy whatsoever. So,
But it does have free wifeys.
Also,
We're planning a rebellion. Jenna, say what?
Also, the poor girls that work at that cafe. I mean, they already deal with enough dickery from the guy who runs the place.
mhm.
Yep. I guess so.
And
Guess Maximus.
if you tip them, they have to sing.
and and
And there's this crabby one that refuses to sing every time I fucking tip.
And
Thank
not
you, sir.
and not only that, but they have to deal with the dickery of the fact that Enzo is a regular there, and sometimes he brings Lashinon with him to talk about her problems, and well, Lashinon is Lashinon.
Big hair, I tip fucking really well.
I know, it's just that anytime Lashinon enters a business, there's always a chance it's going to go under within 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that is a genuine fear because a lot of people are wary of Khajiit because they have a reputation of being liars and thieves.
Racist.
She is a liar and a thief. Her dad's a...
Her dad's name is literally Ma'ik the Liar.
So it's not a reputation undeserving. You guys understand.
That seems a little bit like profiling there, Grant. It's not okay.
It's true, though. She stole my wallet. Yeah, well, Mom, I don't see cat
Yeah,
hair.
well, maybe you shouldn't have had your wallet on. Did you ever think about that?
You ever think
I mean,
maybe
the
you
only
should?
the only thing could be worse if, I don't know, if I was like, what, Sheena the Thief or some shit?
Maybe you shouldn't have dressed like a whore. If you didn't want to get violated.
This is how I normally dress.
I'm talking about you. I'm talking about Knox.
All right.
Nox just looks down at his, like, clerical robes and shit like, I mean...
Hey!
Not a whore. I am a delict.
Okay. But, okay,
Yeah.
are you guys meeting at the Red Velvet Room or the Guild Hall? You'll have equal amounts of privacy in both because your group owns both of those establishments.
Well, wherever Lita tells us to go.
Expediency is bestity, so
All right. Red Velvet Room?
yeah.
All right. I'll say that you get the Velvet Underground to yourselves. It's that place where you hosted that party for the Von Evericks.
Yeah.
So okay, so Burchill, what's your state of dress and demeanor as you walk into this place?
I imagine his typical wear, though. He forgot the jacket, his hair's all over the place, like the example I gave, looking like Emperor Bellows.
Oh boy.
Okay.
His tie's probably not even tied,
Okay.
but he's clearly hungover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it actually knocks because you have a heightened sense of smell. You don't need to roll. You don't need to roll to notice this. You even from where you stand, you can smell the stench of alcohol in Burchill's breath, which is noteworthy to you because Burchill does not drink. Mm-hmm. However, as distracting as that is, oh, and by the way, to justify Jayson not being here, Rowan is actually standing out guard at the gate to this place just to make sure that nobody disturbs you.
I did send you something, John, as well. So.
Yes, I saw that. However,
He's
but yes,
T-posing out there.
as distracting as that is, as distracting as that is, Rowan in the middle of this actually comes back inside. He's just like, Lita, there's some strange blonde woman outside. She says she's here for the meeting. Did you hire?
Yeah, let her in.
Did you hire someone new?
I'll explain later. I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain.
Well,
That explanation just took a lot more minutes than I'm comfortable for. Let's go.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so with that, Rowan actually goes back upstairs, and Mike, would you like to describe what the rest of the party sees walking down the steps of the Velvet Underground? Enzo, with everyone at this point is already here, so Mike, you're up.
Okay. So just to kind of sum it up, we're walking down the steps right there. You said, or
Yeah.
that I am?
Yes, you're entering the basement's party area of the Red Velvet Room. So yeah, you are walking down some steps.
Okay. So what you see walking down the steps looks like a blonde woman with long hair.
Mm-hmm.
Directly kind of at the top, kind of parted over.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like the sides of her head are shaved right there, but she's got two kind of long pigtails in a sense there, I think, from this one there. No pigtails? Oh, they are pigtails right there. From the picture that I have here. And very strange outfit. Doesn't match any of the styles that you've seen recently. Basically, here's a picture just to sum up what you see walking down the stairs.
Okay, yeah, I was trying to picture the shaved head and pigtails. What the heck?
How old is this person?
This individual is about 6 foot 3-ish, 6 foot 4-ish, right there.
And
She's just walking down the stairs.
Knox, roll a perception check.
Okay. Cider smell.
Smell. Is your sense of smell acute enough that you can tell the difference between people?
I mean, this is what I've been doing a lot.
Oh, okay, then.
Yeah.
Regardless, roll it.
I'm like the bloodhound.
Yeah.
37.
Like he knows.
Yeah,
okay.
like
Knox?
so. Here's where the party is.
Knox, what you're smelling makes absolutely no sense to you. You smell drow. You smell a very particular drow that you are very familiar with. In fact, you made a true polymorph potion for this drow.
A greater polymorph, rather, but... I just tilt my head at that and I go... does it look physical, or is it just...
The only real way to tell would be to touch her.
Disappointing. So this is where we're planning something.
Mm-hmm.
Is the voice the same?
Mike, what's the
No.
difference in the voice?
Can't tell.
So yeah, there's little, if any, change in her voice. So it's very clearly her.
I
I'm
look
guessing
at
the rest of us, you can't tell, so Burchill hungover just going to be like, "Who the hell is this bimbo?"
Oh, I love it.
Bimbo right there, I must say, I am slender and perfect right there. I do have more of a pump to my chest than Lita over there at all. But you
Everybody
can
knows.
just call me Malediction. Totally.
I look at Enzo and Lita to see if they know what the hell's up. Like, I just
Enzo
look.
is straight face. Enzo is just total, like, normal.
Roll sense
He
motive.
has that kind of, like, I'm done with today look.
Roll sense motive anyway, Grant.
Sense motive? Alright.
Yes.
Also, just
17.
a little note, since
If there's chairs up, she basically kicks up one piece, kind of a bit up right there, legs up on the table.
All right.
on a small note, since some of you have not seen Enzo since the last time we were all together,
He is drunk.
Enzo is no longer wearing his nice spiky vestments. Enzo is now sporting very simple, all-white vestments. Like
Okay.
someone took a humble check and decided to.
Damn.
Someone took the humble check.
Okay.
What, did you get demoted?
Huh?
Burchill just asked you if
like-
you got demoted.
No, but I realized it was time for a change.
But 17, you said, Grant?
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Very sad.
both Nox and Enzo are very. Both Lita and Enzo are very difficult to read, so you're not getting much from either of them at this point.
I'll just, I'll look to him and I'll look to Lita. I want, is this your doing?
No, it's
Feet up on the table.
It's a lot more interesting than that, but no, we don't have a hand in this.
I pull out like 2 bottles, I guess, because I had a kind of a similar plan, but I guess you guys beat me to the punch. Don't put the bottle
no,
back.
it's
No, it is much more interesting than
we.
the potions.
I thought he'd be more on the ball from the last I remembered him.
Look, I don't know. We don't know what the fuck happened. I don't even know what the fuck. Like, look, there's a lot that we don't know, but
Goes up
Long-
to this. Have you ever taken a swan dive with a demon?
Devil, there's a difference.
A devil, then.
Actually,
Whatever.
no, you would
I
know
didn't know
the
what the
difference.
fuck it was.
Yeah, you don't know the difference, so yeah, go right ahead.
I'll take the correction. Like so.
Didn't we all meet a devil before?
You did, but this is different.
That was a dream.
And yet I still got a coin from that dream.
He was-
I mean, I don't know. We never brought it back up.
Yeah,
It's
we like-
a bunch of just
I have.
a dream.
It was great.
Yeah.
Incidentally, not as fun as dancing with the devil in the pale moonlight.
So like when she's moving like a chair and stuff, it's actually like there's no like a short difference. Like this
There's
woman's
nothing.
actually picked. What the fuck?
No, you can tell like her arms, her legs, and even her head. They do appear to be as tall as her image makes them appear, because like there's no overlap. Like nothing goes through anything.
And she said, from what I remember, I'm like, kid, are you? Yeah, he's like, has it been years for you or something?
Oh, it's been a significant amount of years. Well, it was 5 hours for you, 5 years for me. As she turns off the device, and you see an older-looking Anaris.
Which by the way,
Fuck.
which by the way, Grant, when she does this, she pulls out this. She holds up her hand, and she's wearing this very strange-looking glove that. It looks like something that no artificer you've ever met could ever make, as she just hits a few buttons on it, and then the image is, Mike, would you like to describe it?
Yeah. Pretty much, I'm going to just attach this to make it easier, since this is what I based her off in the future, for the hairdo of looking like that. In that way, but white hair, black eyes, with the ears, not quite as large, not pierced like there. Somewhat similar type of outfit, but not as poofy. Right there.
What, she's a goblin now?
No.
No, she's still a drow.
That's just like the basis of where Anaris would have been in the future.
Imagine that, but on a 6'3" drow woman.
Which
Okay,
pretty much
the
the same
height
build
makes
as
more
what was
difference.
shown earlier, right there.
Wait, 5 years? How old are you? I thought you're only like 14. How are you 6'3"?
You say that in person or no?
No, out of character. I'm like, how tall do Drow get?
I'm 16, son.
Drow, much like elves, are very vertical and very lean, so they tend to get pretty tall.
As someone who's killed Drow cultists before, is 6'3", like short or tall for them.
She's a few inches off the. She's a few inches off the max height.
I am rolled for it.
Yeah,
I
like
am royalty.
it is pretty tall, Grant. However, having killed Drow cultists, you have seen taller.
Wait, she's taller than Burchill now.
Yeah,
Yes.
what the fuck?
Yep.
And this looks like technology, right? That's on her hand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Also
the Devil
weird
King
one.
Nintendo. What the? Okay.
Like,
I just look at everyone. I'm like, how's this possible?
Enzo, you know.
Well,
I mean,
If
if
you
it
want
wasn't
me-
for the years we now would just assume that Drow just ate quickly, like...
not that quick.
Oh, not this quickly.
Do you want the long technical answer that I found last night, or do you want the short answer that makes less sense?
Maybe short now, long later, I guess. Because
Fair.
yeah, Nox is like very confused.
Anaris tangled with what we know now. What we can only imagine is what a devil is. And I'm not talking figurative. I'm talking a creature classified as a devil. She and this creature fell through a rift,
Technicolor Dreamland is what I like to call it.
either a rift or a portal into another plane.
Nox, roll a
Eris-
profession check.
It was quite very techno there.
Which, by the way, Nox, techno is a word you've never heard before.
Yeah, I wouldn't figure. What the hell? I'm so baffled in and out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, it took me off a swan dive I expected to see on a heavy metal album.
Profession?
Yeah, profession.
What is that? Plus 9 is math. Do math. Fuck. 20.
Or it's sort of math.
24.
Okay, that's enough. Nox, you have hunted things that go bump in the night for your entire life. You've never seen a devil. In fact, as far as you're aware, devils belong in the pages of holy books. They do not exist.
Don't I have the coin from a devil?
You
That's a
have
god.
you have no idea what that thing is. Like you've never. Actually, I don't think you've ever tried to classify what it might be.
Well, I just figure it was like something in our dreams that fucked us over, and I seem to be the only one that remembers it was real.
Well, regardless, as far as you are aware, devils do not exist. If they had, you in your years of hunting monsters, you would have seen one.
Well, I mean, we got Lita here, who's a goddamn angel lady who works for the old gods. I think Nox should have an open mind, but yeah, I don't think I've seen one before.
Yeah. I mean, like, you're free to interpret that however you wish. I'm just telling you what your years of experience have taught you.
Yeah.
No. Here's how open-minded we are. We have a person who owns a griffin as a friend/pet.
As a pet.
We have an angel in the group. We have this random priest who can understand Draconic for no absolute reason we can comprehend. And now we have a drow that's being tangling with devils. Of course we are. This is the Book of Legends right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, but hearing that, I'm like, you went through time?
And space. Or
There
just
you go.
space and into a place where time moves faster.
Went through that, ended up in Night City. Wasn't the most enjoyable experience the first time, but it was nice for the 5 years, I suppose. Well, until they tried to
How long
kill
have you
me,
been
then it
back?
wasn't as enjoyable.
Was that Ken?
How long have you been back now?
Yesterday.
So what? So it's back. So now, I don't know, time frame. So what now? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Is this
Anyways, Anaris
is this devil
he's-
thing still alive? Did you kill it?
Oh, it incinerated. It's
Uh,
dead, I think. I don't know.
To reiterate, Mike, you punched the top half of its skull clean off, and then it let out a feral scream and disintegrated to dust.
Oh yeah, I took off the top of its head, so I assume it's dead after it disintegrated.
How did you get back?
And no idea.
You found the same devil that took you there. That's how you got back.
I still have no idea how I actually got back.
Fair enough.
I got teleported through with the devil, but yeah.
Well, that makes her one of two people in this group that's actually traveled across the universe.
Although, judging by my experience and yours, you had the much more traumatic experience.
Yes. Lita just says yes and leaves it at that.
Anaris is at it. I know she's like 5 years older, but does she seem all there? She kind of seems blasé-faire, like the world doesn't matter anymore.
Roll sense
Well,
motive.
Yes and no.
5 years. 5 years away from any of your original support system in a place you've never been to. I wonder how you.
You'll see. Roll on that sense motive.
Yeah, roll sense motive.
Soft 20?
Mike would use your own judgment. What does a soft 20 get him?
Soft 20, considering we're fucking Pathfinder right there. But even still, you can tell she's not the same Anaris that you know from a few days ago. This seems more manic, in a way.
Oh boy.
Is that soft 20?
Yeah, because even without rolling, I'm like, she seems maybe not all there. Like, but, ugh. But she's not full Jinx, is she?
You'll never know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you mean personality? You don't know.
It's too early not too hungover to comprehend this bullshit.
I'm gonna hand you a health potion to take away the hangover.
Technically that's a potion of cure disease. So it does...
I got that too.
Okay, so Burchill, you drink the potion of cure disease, and it takes a few minutes, but your hangover does start to clear up.
And as yours clears up, I'm starting drinking myself because what the hell is happening this early in the morning?
Aha.
All right. Now that we have reintroductions out of the way, let's get to the reason why we're all here.
Yes.
This isn't the reason?
No.
Oh, no, this is the side reason. I mean, I did find a way directly 2 different routes to kill off Maxwell, so that can work out there. But that's the later reason.
So proud of
What are you just gonna shove him in a portal and just wait like 3 days for him to die?
No, coincidentally, before I took my little tumble through time right there, I was planning out a direct way to knock him out and then stab him and kill him. But that plan's kind of gone out the window. So we'll see what happens.
Good.
Anyway.
Nos drinks.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is going on?
Okay, look. We all know that this upcoming task is to take our friend Prince out of this city and deliver him into the hands of his father-in-law, the Emperor of Skarngard. Now, given the current state of affairs, I've been thinking a lot about this the last several days. Lita turns and looks at Burchill. Burchill, how are you doing?
How do I look?
Lita looks at Burchill. You look like me after I discovered alcohol.
Exactly.
It looked like okay after I beat the shit out of him right there and left him bleeding on the street.
Yeah.
You look like a wounded dog.
We know that there's a lot on your mind, but we're also traveling to your homeland.
Excuse me.
Not like there's anything there for me anyways.
Yes.
So that doesn't really say much.
And we are going to be meeting the Emperor, potentially.
Burchill's expression changes. I have Somebody will tell that bastard.
Exactly. And Lita just kind of goes, also, there's that. So we put a pin in that. Come back to it. The last time we left the city for any great length of time, we came back and found points outside the points just in the vague direction of the city upwards.
Mm-hmm.
The Knights of Ansland and the Knights of Lupton parading around like they own the place. Our allies can't be trusted to run this city in our absence. No matter what they say, no matter what Integra claims to do, she's a self-righteous cunt who can't get shit done.
As soon as you say that, suddenly the door to the top opens and Pyrrha just steps on into the meeting with you guys.
I thought you were gonna say it was her.
Oh god, it's pure.
I mean, we're mad if we say that to Integra's face.
Yeah. I have called Integra worse things to her face while completely sober.
Yeah. So Pyrrha walks down into the meeting with you guys, and just like so sorry to interrupt, but like we were getting the horses and the carriages ready for you guys, and well, Integra showed up.
Oh god damn it!
Well, there you go.
That
Lita.
works.
Say it straight to her face.
Bring Integra down here.
She speak of the devil.
Oh wait, give me a sec. Give me a second. She just turns back into
What did you say your new name was? Maledictus?
Malediction.
Malediction, okay.
Which, by the way, Mike,
I was lazy. I used the synonym of jinx.
Mike, in the time between your solo session and now, did you have time to mess with the character creator on that thing?
I'm gonna probably have to do that later. That takes a while to mess with that character creator. The problem is, if I keep messing with it, eventually it'll be like, well, I have a dick somehow, and it's clipping outside the clothes. Anyone knowing of the dumbass cyberpunk stuff?
Yeah, I remember this dumbass cyberpunk shit.
Mm-hmm. But yes.
I'm kind of sad they fixed the driving glitch, because I heard some fantastic things about the driving
the
glitch.
T-posing on top of
Yeah.
the car.
Or the car spawning within the cars, spawning within the cars.
It's the Jesus Mobile, run!
But yes, with that being said, Zach, Pyrrha does go back outside, and like two minutes later, in walk Integra, Gabrielle, who will be played by me until Charlie arrives, and Prince Ares and Ophelia, both of them dressed alike in very formal attire. Servant's clothes with the sigil of the House of Ford on the right breast.
Who's Ophelia again?
Rory was the prince himself.
Ophelia is Ares' nursemaid /
Oh, the lady I say from.
Exactly.
What's his name?
Getting
Tempest.
clout by Tempest.
Yeah.
Technically, Ophelia is Ares' personal servant.
God,
Okay.
she's the one I jumped out the window with.
Mommy got it.
Good. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So as I was saying, we can't trust our allies to run this city in our absence.
Well, it's like I can tell that was directed at me. However, I will say to save your breath, I will not be in the city to run it for you either. I have business of my own to attend to. I am merely here to drop off your things and wish you the best.
Well,
Good,
I don't
we
think that prince is a thing right there.
Good, we would want you to show some actual responsibility for once.
Enzo actually breaks
Shots fired.
Because he's like, well, like he breaks
You-
and then resets himself.
You watch as Gabrielle snickers for a little bit, but then Integra looks in her direction and she just falls silent.
As that is said, I do this. Snap. As I'm just back there in the jinx form.
Actually, hold on. Okay, she doesn't. You watch as Integra you see how Integra notices you, but she does not care as she just returns her attention back to.
Oh yeah,
Actually,
before Integra came,
yeah,
I probably would have put my
yeah.
mask back on because she still doesn't know my face.
Oh shit!
But
No, it just looks straight out, fully transformed as a bat. Sup.
Nox is a defense reflex, shoves his head into the bar, like literally just.
Can't see me.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Like an ostrich. He's like an ostrich. You can't see me.
It's just like, regardless of what your actual opinion of me is, Lady Ford, I am still the Lady of Sanctuary, and I'm also here to remind you that I will be taking a trip of my own as well while you are gone to Embersol with Stephanie Lupton to meet the king.
Good.
It's like, it might interest you to know Lady Ford that while I am there, I will be speaking on your behalf. So perhaps it would be in your best interests for the time being, at the very least until I get back, to keep the insults to a minimum.
I pull out a phone. I just go, wouldn't be hard. You're just acting like a colossal bitch right there. First time I met you.
Who are you?
First time meeting her.
What the hell is she
friend.
holding even? Like, not
She's a friend. Pay very little attention to her at the moment.
I-
But the fact still stands.
As I do this with the hand.
It's like,
I don't know how to be fancy with you fuckers.
I hope she's worth however much gold you're paying for her services.
Oh, I'm worth more than you.
Integra.
You look
I
rich,
hope-
but do you have a car?
What is a car? I have no idea what this car is, and quite frankly, I do not care. Yes, Lady Ford, you were saying?
Lita looks directly at Integra and says, "I pray your mission is successful for your sake."
And I pray that your mission is successful as well, for both of our sakes. After all, if both of us are not successful, we all die. Some maybe sooner than others, but both of our heads will be on pikes by the time they down south are through with us, if we do not succeed in our endeavors.
Regardless, well, good luck.
Just like Prince Ares. Yeah, yes. Do behave yourself. Hey, like, look who you're talking to. I know. That's why I said it.
We speak of precedent.
It's like, Gabrielle. Yeah, yes, Lady Integra. Do keep an eye on the prince, would you? Of course I will. And with that, just as quickly as she came in, Integra just turns on her heel and walks on out.
Lita,
Mhm.
Lita, as soon as that happens, Lita turns and faces the party and says, "I'd like to apologize for my attitude this morning. Hattori decided to make bacon, and it made me throw up."
This is why I said you just got to give him a good old pagan right there.
Ares ignores that and just looks to you confused for a moment, Lita. Why would cooking bacon make you throw up? Bacon's delicious.
Lita pauses.
It's now or never. Enzo set shots for the
Yeah.
background.
Lita,
Would I be able to
Lita-
smell? Would I be able to
Lita's
smell it on her?
Because she's got
Lita-
a
yeah.
parasite right there growing.
Lita,
Yeah,
Lita
wouldn't Nox be able to
turns-
smell what
way
she
out.
is?
Well, you know what she
no.
is.
Well, no.
No, I mean,
it
what's
will-
wrong with her? I think I had a character
Well-
I know, but
Yeah, Lita turns to the party and goes, "Kath, okay, look, I'm pregnant."
that's what that was.
How many of you have? How many of you have acute hearing?
My hearing and smell are better than my sight.
Anybody else?
No, I only have a spell that gives me special bird eyes.
Okay, so I guess Nox, I would like you to roll a perception check for me.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the echolocation and stuff, so my hearing's as good as my smell. 37.
But not too far from where Lita is standing. Under his breath, you hear Prince Ares say, "By the Creator, she's bred."
Oh God.
Oh my boy, the creator had nothing to do with this one.
You don't.
Yeah, the
you
Creator
Nox,
had nothing to
you
do
did
with
not
this.
hear that. Nox is the only one who did.
Yeah, Nox just, like, slowly turns the beak mask towards the prince. And then he's like, he lifts the mask up, takes another drink, because there's a lot of stuff going on. Like, the returned kid is playing with some sort of piece of technology in her hand that has lights on it. What the hell is going on?
And Lita is. And
No,
Lita is.
It's good.
Yeah. But yeah, Lita just kind of goes, "Yeah, I found out about a week ago."
I have a quick question for you, Lita, right there. Is it going to burst itself out of its belly like a chest burster right there, or it's going to be normal?
What the fuck?
I suppose normal is a phrasal word right there.
No. Do you have any idea how?
Out with unfurled.
No, it's you.
You were gone for 5 years and no one explained to you the birds and the bees.
Oh no, I know plenty of the birds and the bees right there. But
You were-
considering what Lita is, I wouldn't put it past it. So it's some sort of eldritch abomination bursting itself out.
No,
Casino.
no.
You're totally wrong, Anaris, but I'll educate you about it later.
Aha.
Look,
But,
Is
so I
this-
could say, I guess, congratulations.
Is this what you people talk about all the? Is this how you people talk all the time when you're when I'm
Yes.
not around? How do you
Yes.
get anything done?
quite easily.
Nox holds up a thing of booze.
Who are you? Who are you?
Give me
He's
a
seen me
sec.
before.
I have to put up. Give me a sec. I'll set the mood. Let me put on some classical music and I play Rob Zombie's Dracula.
What the hell is going on?
Oh my god!
Where did you go?
Prince Ares actually lets out a yelp sound and then hides behind Ophelia.
Hold
Wait
on.
a minute, the prince should know who I am. I brought his nursemaid. I flew his nursemaid to safety. I thought he saw me in my get up before.
Oh.
I have not.
He wasn't paying that much attention and he doesn't know your
Well,
name.
Ophelia probably remembers me. I'm the one that flew her to safety.
Ophelia is not saying anything.
Enzo walks over to the prince.
Turn off the music.
Like, Prince Ares, please be at ease. This is the second safest place in the entire city.
This is supposed to be the next leader of this kingdom.
I am going to die. I am going to die.
This is Nox. This is fucking Nox.
Yeah, Nox is just wondering where did that music even come from? Is no one gonna talk? And poor Burchill's too depressed and drunk that it's all just rolling off of him.
Hey, rolling back.
Well, I mean, I imagine. Well, from what I can imagine, Burchill's tasting music like this sounds like they're assaulting the instruments.
If only
Lita.
Rowan wasn't T-posing, I'd have someone to be confused with.
Okay, rolling back. So, given all of that, technically, this mission is a diplomatic one through and through. We are taking him, points at the prince, and hand delivering him to his future father-in-law.
I would just like to say I'm still not entirely a fan of this plan, but I understand why we are doing it, so I will not argue.
Well, until you come up with a better one, you can shut up.
I think I've learned
behind a chair due to music. Maybe shouldn't.
I've learned since meeting you that sometimes it's best to let the planners plan.
Wait, we had a plan?
Wait, are you telling me you don't have a plan? But you always have a plan. How did you get as far as you did without a plan?
Our plan is to have a plan.
I've been back here for about
Who even asked you? Who
plan.
are you?
Oh, I told you, malediction right there.
She's a friend.
I hope you're paying well for her services.
She could be paying more.
But she gets the family and friend discount since she's my adopted daughter.
So back
she's
to the diplomatic.
I learn more things about you guys every time we talk, and most of the time it's because you guys just decide to tell me without provocation.
Oh no, it's because we love seeing reactions to when you learn things that you should never have learned in the first place.
Anyway,
back at the ranch.
Meanwhile,
I say in character.
Lita
she's gone
says-
full Fruit Loop.
all things considered, this is a diplomatic mission. We're meeting with the Emperor, some of his diplomats. I believe, we're meeting with the governor of Axion and his wife.
Technically speaking, the Duke of Axion and his wife are the ones putting you up for this meeting.
So we're meeting with them. So it's a pure,
Which, by the way, just for the rest of the party can remember, you guys actually do have something of a relationship with the Duke of Axion, because if you remember, Grant, in that session with you and the Joker, you found that piece of paper on him with the cipher that turned out was instructions for a target for the witch hunters, and you guys decided to send a letter intercepting that message and warn them of what was coming. And since then, the Duke of Axion's wife is now very much alive because of your guys' actions.
Yeah, but quick question: is this Emperor we're going? Is that the Emperor that we helped get to safety way back when?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just trying. So we might see Sir Jonathan again.
Well,
Yes. Actually,
getting there, we're
there's a
getting
very real possibility that you might see Sir Jonathan again.
that being said, this is a purely diplomatic mission. We're going there, we're going to make nice, and then we're going to come home.
I can't wait for the plan to fall apart.
How long is it gonna? How long is it gonna take us to get there? Out of character.
In character, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Burchill would know the answer to this with knowledge geography.
All right, in character, I'll just say that'll go.
Okay. I won't know geography. That's one of my best stats.
Nice.
Thankfully, Nox gave you that potion of cure disease to get rid of your hangover. Otherwise, you would have penalties to all your rolls.
Good thing then.
That's a total of 39.
Wow.
Okay, so
Jesus, dude.
however,
Well, no, 37. Did the math wrong.
Oh.
regardless, a straight line from where you guys are to Axion will take you about 7 to 9 days, give or take. However, a straight line between here and Axion takes you actually through Vizima, where the elves are. So the best course of action in getting there is to take the long way and actually go around Vizima, around what is now the contested territory between the Syrians, the Scarring Guardians, and the elves, and that's gonna tack on quite a bit of time to your travels. I would say, if you're lucky, 10 days, but like you plan for 14 days.
But that's just getting there, and then we're gonna be gone almost a month.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna be gone another month.
Burchill would say, like, it would be 7 days if the elves weren't a problem, but you're going to have to go the long way.
Yeah.
The situation is going to be dealt with eventually.
And there's no way we can take a boat.
This is like
On the water.
is that Prince Ares actually chimes in at this. Axion, if I remember correctly, does actually have a port. However, if we are to take a boat there, we would have to go along the river. We would have to go along the Pontar, which you guys would know is the river you guys had to cross to get to this country. We would have to go along the Pontar, which is more or less the same route we'd be traveling anyway. So our choices would either be we're either in carriages or possibly attacked by elves, or we're on a boat and possibly attacked by elves. So the danger would not be any less.
Also, the boat could be a problem the boat could be a problem if there's no wind.
That's true.
I would like to remind the Congress here that
Wait, Congress? I never voted for any of you.
I am a member of the Church of Eternal Fire, not the Church of Eternal Water.
Yeah.
And
Lita,
It's actually a good thing that you bring that. It's actually a good thing that you bring that up, Enzo. I'm sure you're well aware of this, but they're not exactly fond of you down there.
And I would like,
The
and I'd
church
like
for all the things they pulled.
and at the mention of the boat, Lita mentions, "Yeah, no, last time I was on a boat, people died." That's all she leaves it at.
People die even when we're on horses.
Pregnant woman seasick.
It's much easier to knock people out on land than on sea.
I
So-
turned a giant fire elemental. I prefer not to be over water on a wooden boat.
In character, Nox is just kind of worried, like, okay, we're going to be gone for a month with all these assholes running around, and we still don't know where
That's-
Lightsmith is.
That's
It
Lita
could.
goes, and that's where I'm getting to. Technically, only 3 of us in this conversation have to go. She says, and she goes, she points at herself, I wrote the letter to the Emperor to saying I would hand deliver Ares. Enzo has to go to make nice with the church because his organization tried to kill the man who's putting us up, so he has to basically go pontificate in front of him and basically make nice and kiss his feet the entire time we're there and show that he is beyond such matters. And then points at Gabrielle and says, and she...
I'm granting you legitimacy.
Exactly. And she basically says, so of those in Congress here, only 3 of us have to go. And she looks at Burchill specifically and goes, Burchill, given everything, do you want
You should sit this one out, Burchill. Enzo says with a big smug grin on his face.
Are you guys
I don't
honestly
want-
suggesting we split the party?
Yes.
Burchill thinking about this, realizing the stage he's in right now and how he has personal beef with the Emperor, like, yeah, I would probably cause an international incident. Like, just looks at Ares like, sorry, Ares, but I have issues with your father-in-law.
And I'll be honest, I am definitely not casting hold person on him if I see him go after the Emperor. I want to see what happens.
The Emperor also owes me 10,000 gold, so I'm not going to stop this if it happens.
All right. Well,
10,000 gold. 10,000 gold. 10,000 gold is not worth your parents.
That too.
All right.
Lita goes,
Hey,
so that brings us to the other point. As pointed out.
Someone needs to stay home and deal with the mess. Siler was his name, right? Our spy?
Right.
Tyler. Yes.
Siler? Yeah, Siler, our spy problem.
I'm currently having the Underground put together a dossier on everyone he was in contact with, and a dossier on him as he worked in Walpole. This dossier should be ready in the next few days. If we're going to be gone a month, that gives a month of anyone that this dossier is handed to potentially lock him in a basement and work his ass over and get the information we want.
Are you looking at me when you say that?
What?
Are you looking at me when you say that?
Lita does very slowly.
Says her sentence.
as soon as you said work him hard in the basement, Anaris just went hot.
Oh my god.
So now we know she's on board with Nox is crazy.
I know, but that's she's even crazier.
Nox is just like, what the fuck is going on?
What did that work do to her? What is she into?
This is a hell of a session for Jayson to miss. Our straight man's not here.
This is off. I was gonna fuck with him.
Well, right now,
So-
Nox is getting fucked all in the head from all this info.
Well, yeah.
All right.
So Lita says,
Okay.
Screw
we're leaving the city for a month. That's a month for all of those fuckers up there to fuck with us.
So, you out of character, you want me to be Batman and with Burchill's backup while you guys are gone?
Actually, yes.
Actually, yes.
Yes.
So it's just us two against the world?
Well,
that's where the final piece comes in.
So Lita says,
Okay.
now, that being said, I could bring Rowan with as my bodyguard. It would add a lot of face to the whole mobility angle.
I would
That being
would
said,
I would actually recommend that as well. After all, it is not only you that Rowan would need to protect. Looks to Ares and Ophelia.
so there's that, which means Lita sniffers.
Excuse me.
So that means either Rowan or Anaris could come with.
Oh, I'm sure it's coming with.
Would you say that?
But I don't know who this Anaris is. We may want to try to clue her into the plan.
Malediction.
I would actually recommend that Rowan come with. You see, no offense to you, Lita, my friends, but you are as intimidating as you can be. You're much more intimidating with him standing by. Not only that, but just as I add you legitimacy, having a knight in fancy armor stand by you would add even more. Not only that, but as I said, you are not the only person that Rowan would need to protect.
Oh, what the fuck am I? Chopped liver right there. I can protect you perfectly fine.
I have no
idea
who you are. So I have no idea if you're chopped liver, veal, or bacon.
I need a demonstration right there. Could I knock his ass out? I think I could do it in one hit.
I would prefer it if you didn't. Ares,
Hold on. Lita goes, hold on. Lita goes, hold on.
I think that was
And
Lady
Lita
Gabrielle
goes, I'm going to
talking.
go upstairs. Hold on, Anaris.
Hey, Jay, want to make $5?
Yes! Lita goes outside and goes, hey, Jay!
I would like to hide.
Do you? Jay is around the other side of the building, and Rowan asks,
Yeah.
"Do you want me to get him?"
Yeah, get Jay. Tell him I'm going to give him $20.
Okay. It takes a few seconds, but Rowan walks around the building, and then
Door would
comes.
open and Jay would walk in. I'm gonna be behind it so he's not aware. And as soon as I can hit him, I'm gonna fucking hit his ass.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You. Okay. So you're hidden, and actually, everyone. You actually. How do you stealth, Mike? Because this would be the first time we're seeing this character stealth.
Well, I can't directly stealth easily. Oh, he won't expect this. Well, no, it'd actually be on this arm. I kind of grapple hook up to the top.
What
Yeah.
the hell is that?
Why do you need grapple hook? You're a spider.
Because I'm not killing this right
No, the fact that she's got a Batman-like grapple hook, I'm like, Nox would want one of those. Like, holy shit. Like, Nox has like an old-fashioned one for some tricky stuff, but holy shit, he's like...
Which, by the way, Grant, the line on the grapple hook is like this thin, and it fits into a glove that like is skin tight.
And
Nox wants to know where this future
It
is.
basically looked like it was a tattooed sleeve of robotics.
What the heck? You went to Cyberpunk?
Yes, she did.
I went to Night City. It was a weird experience. Some guy kept walking up to me 5 minutes saying, "Wake the fuck up, samurai. We got a city to burn."
Oh, because this setting's based on The Witcher. Okay. I get it now. I get the joke, the Easter egg.
But I'm gonna wait till he appears, because nobody will walk through a door and look straight up.
Yeah, like you guys watch as Jay eventually comes in and just like is like, all right, here I am. All right, here I am. Who needs what from me? Mike, roll an attack roll.
Okay. So that is a 22 to hit.
It's Jay. It hits.
And for the minimum of damage, that's
you
kill
knock
Jay.
you knock
we'll just say it's
You knock him
60 odd damage, and he's
But
fucking.
literally what happens is Jay walks into the basement. You guys is like, all right, who needs what?
I just basically knock down and just easily, and he's down.
Mm-hmm.
Lita goes,
And then I just.
so either way, either her or Rowan will
For this
protect
job, it's going to cost you about a few thousand credits just for this easy thing.
Lita literally looks at Anaris and says, "Well, you're old enough. I can put you on the payroll."
Oh, you must know my services are quite expensive. Although I can't use my last references, considering 8 out of 10 of them wanted me dead.
I'll vouch for her.
Because I was, and I quote, too dangerous to live.
Lita just kind of goes. Lita just genuinely kind of go. Well, if 8 out of 10 references hate you, then by all means.
By all means, I have to hire.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be 4 out of 5 dentists hate me.
4 out of 5 dentists recommend.
There is that one dentist that I just pay off right there. She's saying this all in character.
Knox wishes he could get drunk.
Anybody remember that? Anybody remember that gum commercial where it was just like 4 out of 5 dentists recommend or 9 out of 10 dentists recommend this one gum that basically was supposedly had something in it that basically was actually healthy and it was healthy for you, and it's just we wonder what the last dentist showed, and you see a squirrel crawl up and bite him on the crotch, and you hear it's yes. No!
I remember that commercial, yes, because he's chewing it and before he gets to answer, it's I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
above game, I do have to say I did not actually plan on the possibility of any of you guys actually staying behind in this city. So while you guys can split the party and leave some guys behind while you travel, this session especially because it's kind of sudden, you might run the risk of not having much to do. I mean, I could probably plan for the next one, but yeah, I did not expect you guys to split the party in this manner.
Improv it.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying I'll try to think of stuff for you guys, but this was not a possibility that I foresaw.
Oh God! Leave the people that got working from the shadows. All right, so Burchill's our front man. I'm the man in the shadows, and either Rowan and Anaris, who would probably be better. Rowan's got the contacts with the elves though, but he's also your bodyguard and scary. Anaris is from the future apparently and can do anything.
If I could make a recommendation.
I'm going. Yeah. I have not seen my father in 5 years.
Yeah.
I
need to talk to my ward who's been gone for 5 years.
It's
Secondly, with Burchill on his rampage still, and Knox being our anti-spy problem, we need someone to be on the front still. Someone who can at least look like they're doing good and to be our own spy. If I'm not mistaken, Rowan fits this criteria perfectly.
Yeah.
I mean, if we need some backup, my one elf character from the session is working for Burchill, so maybe we'd have extra firepower.
Does Sariel not still work in this city? And does she not have her own? And I suppose let's just call it what it is, hired muscle under her payroll as well.
She do.
Sariel. Fuck! I forgot to tell Sariel that I was back. Huh. I should do that.
I've had the pleasure of meeting some of the people that work for Sariel. Other than at the Bloodthirster, I've never actually met so many Stolichnians.
I mean, yeah, because we don't want to. Yeah. Leaving 2 men behind.
Or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Leaving 2 men behind is kind of. 3 works best because, power 3s.
And also, I do have another character within this city I've got a sheet for.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Lita.
And also,
yes.
we got Sariel too, so we could also, if Mike could jump back and forth between the 2.
Yeah.
Our little parade. How big is it?
Oh. That. We're bringing a contingency of. You may have known them in the past as the Wild Ones. However, I have rebranded them. We are bringing 50 Scarlet Knights with us.
On the nose, but I'll take it.
I know that's supposed to sound important, but I don't get it.
It'll make sense in a while.
Now,
Mike, actually, from your okay, I'm sorry.
okay, so where the Scarlet Knights are? It doesn't work. Damn it.
Yes.
Also, Mike, from your appearance, the color scarlet keeps bringing to mind a certain swordswoman who kept killing you every single time you tried to defeat her.
Fuck that cunt.
But Lita
and Anaris would have played that in the Cyberpunk universe because video games are a thing there.
and Lita actually takes out several pieces of parchment and her official house seal, and as she writes down a few things, stamps the first one and hands it to Nox.
Okay, so now I got Burchill's letter, now I got your letter.
This note guarantees you that if you present this to the Underground, they will give you the dossier without questions asked, and will be at your disposal until I return.
You're putting me in charge of them?
Look, Batman was in charge of a gang once. It worked out pretty well.
It worked out pretty well. He's dead now, but it worked out well.
I'm gonna have to get Burchill happy again to help me with all this bullshit, because now it's like, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed at this meeting. I
think at the moment the only way to do that would be to heavily drug Burchill, and you probably don't want to do that.
And Lita does look at Burchill and does say, I can have a contingency of the Scarlet Knights around you.
You're only taking 50 of them.
I
There's
know.
a lot more than that. So,
I know.
yeah.
There's over 1,500. I'm frankly intimidated. But Lita does say to Burchill, either for your protection or for
Other services.
other services. Namely to keep you from... I'm concerned, Robert.
Don't burn the city down while we're gone.
I'd like to point out,
It's much more fun.
Lita says, and this is the first time you've ever heard her say this, she doesn't call you Burchill. She says, I'm concerned for you, Robert.
Ooh.
Wait, you had a first name?
To be
Chug.
fair,
Did you think Burchill was my? You think Burchill
Never.
was my first name?
Oh, shit.
she was 11.
Burchill, and granted, this was revealed in a solo session when he signed the contract, but Burchill would say that my full name is Robert Octavius Burchill.
The third.
No, the only one.
So wait, your initials spell out Rob.
Yes.
Of
Nice.
House Stark.
Oh no, you're doomed to fail.
Okay, so just I'm gonna have to change up the soul session idea I thought for Rowan then, if this is the case. So Rowan, Nox, and Burchill are all staying behind. Everybody else is going on the trip.
Yeah, but out of character, I think if we keep jumping back and forth, like Mike could retake over Sario, we'll just have to level her up, right? And we could bring in my Cleric to help if one of you guys want to play him.
I think that
I've been leveling up Sariel, so we won't need to worry about that.
Okay.
And I've also got Ermine in the city.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we each have a separate character we could play for those that are going in.
Oh yeah, and Ken's
Like
got...
what?
and-
Do I
yeah.
just send? What do I just send Sultan with you guys?
Damn.
I
Do you
don't know
want us-
why I'm here.
Do you want to send Sultan with them?
I don't know. That doesn't really make sense.
Do
though.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better just to split the party and just have us all play a single
Yeah.
character.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll try to think of some stuff for the second session that the other guys can do, but in the meantime, let's just keep going with this one. So, are you guys ready to go?
Well,
Give us 1 hour. Anaris has got to go say hi and bye to Sariel before things get crazy.
I still
Yeah,
don't know
and I
what
should-
this.
Well,
How
I guess,
important is she?
well, I guess I won't need this, but you'll hold up a suitcase that I guess he had with him that, like, a bunch of sleeves are just poking out.
Lita walks over to Burchill and just kind of like says, Lita doesn't say anything. She just walks over and she actually starts to like straighten his tie, kind of straighten his clothes, and then just gives him a hug.
Before you all go, though, I got a tool that could help you all. And Nox presents out the earpieces because he invented Bluetooth.
Yay!
These things will allow, since I can do it at will, but you guys can, like, what was it, John, once per session?
Once per day. This allows you guys a single use of the sending spell. You can send one message and receive one back.
Yeah, Nox can talk to you at any moment, though, so he goes,
Which
here.
also, I should also point out, by the way, the sending spell has no limit on range. So if you wanted to, you guys can send a message back to your party in Sanctuary.
At this very moment.
Does it have a 25 word limit, or is that the message spell?
It does unfortunately have a 25 word limit.
Yeah, Nox will explain that. It says 25 words or less. You don't have to speak it aloud. This thing amplifies your brain waves and is able to transmit it through the air on these waves that I've only just recently gotten a hold of.
Which,
25 words or less. This
by the way, Mike,
sounds
sounds
like
very
cyber-
familiar to you because you have one of these.
So did Nox invented in the medieval times?
Here you go.
Nox invented texting in the medieval times.
I just invented cyber Twitter.
But yeah,
Alright.
they're basically like little earpieces. You just stick them in like a Secret Service style, and I'll test it out to you. Like I'll send Enzo. I'll be like, without speaking aloud, this is a message in your mind. I can send this to everybody. You may send it once per day. I can send it indefinitely. You may respond to this message.
I look at you like, I have the sending spell.
I do too. Well,
I'm the one person who doesn't need this.
I also have that spell.
He goes, this allows you to do a free one without using up any of your spell slots, I thought.
It will. Like it will allow you one free use of the spell Temme without expending a spell slot.
Yeah.
It's more the merit of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still superior to most of this party, if not all of it.
Bitch, please.
We all know this to be true.
But yeah, I say the same message to everybody with the Bluetooth headpiece, and then whatever, Rowan gets one too, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, the voices are back again.
Is there anything you need? Is there anything I can give you before we go? I got a lot of different potions. Anything?
Oh, I need to speak with you by yourself in like 5 minutes or whenever we're leaving.
If you have a potion that helps deal with morning sickness, I'd be more than grateful.
I'll say this. I'll say this. Nox, you can go very quickly make that, and we can take care of the you and Anaris thing, and we can also wrap up something with Lita and with Burchill that I want to do before you guys go on your trip. So
All right, before I go off to make that, though, I'm gonna give Burchill another cure disease and sickness, whatever, just in case.
Okay, so Burchill, you have one more potion of cure disease, which will cure a hangover. It will also cure any actual diseases. So using it for a hangover is kind of cheap.
Meh.
Believe it or not, this potion is strong enough that it can even cure AIDS and cancer. So,
Why am I working as an adventurer? Holy shit! I could be making all the dough.
because cure disease does not actually have a limit in its description of things it cannot kill. As long as it's classified as a disease, it can cure it.
Fuck me! If I go to Cyberpunk universe, I could become a billionaire.
You'd be God!
Find the careful ligma.
And up, dog.
Basically, what I'm trying to say, Burchill, is that you have the cure for cancer and AIDS in your hand, and you're using it to cure a hangover.
I did drink it. I mean, sure, it cured the hangover, but if Burchill did have cancer, that's probably gone now.
Yes.
Hey, my herpes disappeared.
Actually, this does cure STDs as well. In fact, some of the girls who work for the Red Velvet Room and the Merry Mermaid do have stocks of this, just in case. Hey, you never know. This is a fantasy setting. Like, Nox is only just starting to invent modern medicine.
Out of vengeance.
Aasimar, though.
It's other world.
And now we got the like a girl with future technology all over her too that we're just glossing over.
Mm-hmm. Future technology that she has no idea how to use. And by the way, Mike, what's the charge on your phone?
Not the longest. That's why every time I pull it out, I put it right back to sleep.
Okay, so if you've been doing that, I'm going to say you now have 81% battery life left. And you can't...
You like 91%. This is future tech. Battery's going to last forever. It's a Nokia brand smartphone.
Okay, fine. So 91% power, and just keep in mind, the more you use that phone, the more power you drain, and you cannot recharge it because there's nowhere to plug in your recharge thing.
Until Nox invents the battery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just
Or
go
till I
on that
remember
mission
something
from
about the
that
phone.
one episode of Amphibia.
Nox,
Yeah.
can you invent something that works with one of these?
Yeah, all you
Can
need
you?
to do is splice the wires into electrical current, and it may spark
tried
a
to
few
find
times,
another-
but there is a way to do that. Haven't you seen those? Haven't you seen like the bootleg stuff people do to like get an electrical current going?
Yeah, I have, but like I wasn't.
All you need
aware
is a
Nox
car
knew.
battery.
Do you have a car battery?
It's not well. Even the Egyptians invented batteries. I'm sure Nox could figure it out with enough science.
Acid, lead, and a glass container, and you're done.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not that complicated.
You can get acid and lead from the black
But
market.
first, I'm gonna have to study the phone in order to figure out what I need.
Oh, touchy.
Okay, so
Well, Anaris, I tried studying your phone. I did break the phone,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Okay.
I bricked
Also, I somehow downloaded a virus somehow on it.
all right, so in no particular order, Nox and Anaris. So this is on the walk back to the way to the guild hall. You guys have a moment to yourselves.
Nox is still a little overwhelmed about everything that's happened, so he'll just be like, "So, you were in another world?"
Wait, before you say anything right there, I do want to apologize for the way that I acted towards you.
Okay, Nox is just like, "You don't have to apologize."
I was being petty and childish, and this is the best way that I should deal with the situation, as my therapist told me. I did write a list of over 500 different ways to kill you, but looking back on it right there, it won't actually bring back my parents in that way.
I'm sorry I gave you any reason to hate me, kid. I'm sorry I wasn't the nicest person around in your time of need.
Oh, it's not directly your fault. I was going through a lot of situations right there. Biggest problem is when you lose a loving family right there, you need someone to blame, and you were the easiest target that I could find. So I do apologize for putting that all on you right there.
Nox feels a little strangely, a little weight off his shoulders, but it's still there.
I mean, I'm not going to be planning to kill you because before I left, oh boy, I had a lot of plans to snap your neck right there, throw you off the wall, bunch of things, the deal I made with Lita. It's really weird. But you've got your own problems to deal with that looking back I've seen.
Yeah, I do. And you're right, it is easier to blame, but there is still someone that needs to pay for what happened to your folks.
Exactly. So probably want to find out that exact person. That's the person that'll break every bone in his body. And then I'll either have you or Enzo fucking kill him right there.
Well,
Because during the years of 5 years, I've still kept my hands completely clean. Somewhat.
Well, I know who it is, but there's a process we're going to have to go around, because after 5 years, there's a whole bunch of moving pieces that, quite frankly, make a whole mess of the thing that you can't just throw a bomb and get it done with.
I don't know. That's why I went to therapy there. Tell you, they were very good in that way of helping. Real sad though. I'll never be able to re-meet those. Those two. Yeah, they were the only ones that didn't go after me.
He's like looks at your attire and like what you've done and you're saying and stuff, and also from the phone like this other world. These people that were after you. This technology. Were you in our world or the future? The future of our world or another?
No idea. I'd guess another world because nothing made sense there. There were only humans. So either it was the far future and humans have wiped out every other species in that world, or it's another world. Who could say?
But the ability to travel through time and space is possible. Nox starts thinking.
But the fact that it took a devil to do it, and I killed said devil afterwards, I don't know if it's still possible. Unless I encounter another one that's just hanging out in Temple Isle right there.
What?
Oh yeah, I mentioned I was trying to figure out a way to kill a Maxwell right there.
Oh, I thought...
The guards saw me. They were chasing after me. I was hiding up through the cliff to try to sneak back under the bridge, and then the fucking devil attacked me. I took a swan dive off the cliff and went through the Technicolor Dreamland.
Okay, I don't understand how that magic works, but anything magic can do, science can eventually gain up to it. And I tap at the earpiece.
Which, by the way, Nox,
I prefer to have my car back. Having something that can go 0 to 200 kilometers per hour in 20 seconds was always nice.
Nox does the calculations in his head, like...
As you're doing those calculations in your head, Nox, it occurs to you, because you pay attention to these sorts of things, you do actually remember hearing last night, actually, because word travels fast, that the numbers killer was actually seen on Temple Isle again, and so security has been heightened.
But yeah, like, Nox remembers, I guess that makes sense, but he's doing the calculation at 0 to 200 kilometers, he's like thinking like, the wind current in your face, how's it, are you flying at that point? You're flying, you have to be.
No, directly on the ground right there. That was in the car, which is like a carriage that moves by itself. I mean, there are motorcycles, which are basically like a bicycle that goes that speed as well, but you just have to wear a helmet.
How do the wheels not break at that much tension? The heat won't produce from that. What propels it? What carries it?
You have no idea.
Before they said it was something called gas.
Mike, it was the future. No, Mike, this is the future. They no longer use gasoline. You have no idea what powers those cars.
Probably the same thing that powered my phone.
Okay, that's a longer conversation, but I'm just thankful that you're back. You're back without any harm.
Oh,
Question mark?
I have a lot of damage myself there, but I'm pretending to forget that because it makes it much easier.
As you say that, you guys approach the guild hall, or at the very least the entrance that Nox uses to get into his alchemy lab. While you are here, Mike, would you like to talk to Sariel before you leave?
I probably should.
She's gonna be overwhelmed as well. I'm like, just ease her into it.
All right, so Mike, did the two of you go together, or Nox, do you go into your alchemy lab first?
Nox needs to make a potion. Everything's hurting his head.
Okay, roll an alchemy check for me, and while you're doing that, Mike, how do you want to handle this?
Before she leaves, though, he'll wish her off and give her some stuff to take to Lita and everything. But yeah, let her talk to Sariel. Like, what the hell?
This was the easiest way to tone down Anaris and her one-note hate boner for you.
Yeah, but this is like, it's overwhelming because she's like gone even crazier somehow, and it's also like, from our standpoint, our characters have no idea what's going on.
Okay, Grant, what happened was Mike asked me if there was a way.
Well, out of character, I know what's going on, but in character, like, would you be able to figure out a person from another universe showing up? It's like whenever you guys were all the different worlds in the in-between. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, what happened was, Grant, like, Mike asked me if there was a way that Anaris could travel to another world and, like, have 5 years pass, and I said that there was, I did not tell Mike before the session actually started that he was going to Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, you were in the hyperbolic test chamber in a video game.
Mm-hmm. All right, but okay. So, Mike, how do you handle this whole Sariel business?
Okay, I am going to walk in to the guild hall.
You walk
First
in. You walk in. The receptionist goes like, "Oh, good morning. Would you like to register? You don't seem like a familiar face."
Oh no, I've been here for quite a while, right there. I need to speak to Sariel.
Okay. Who might I say needs to speak with Sariel?
Let's just say a ward. That's a word that can work.
She raises an eyebrow at that, and then walks away from the reception desk. Like 2 minutes late. That is literally what happened. That is literally what happened.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Why is Top and Hat saying that?
That was basically what happened.
I'm banishing you to the Shadow Realm. No!
I mean, why would you ever trust anything
Much
for
better.
Top Hat says?
Remember, you said Top and Hat the 111.
But yes, Mike. Eventually, Sariel does come back, and okay, Grant, you before that, Grant, you made what were you making?
Something to cure, help with the baby, and also gives. I'm gonna make some utility ones to hand to the group as they're traveling. Probably some invisibility and some enhancers. What would be best, Zach? Do you think some stuff for?
Choose one. Choose one. With the 35 craft check, I'll say you make 3 potions for Lita because those are easy. But choose one.
What do you think's more? Do you need something for speech, or do you think I should give something for Anaris to turn invisible?
Anaris will be front and center for a lot. I mean, because
Well, I mean, for whenever if something goes down and you gotta turn invisible, and like you gotta do some sneaky stuff.
Never a bad idea.
Yeah,
Invisibility.
Yeah, invisibility probably.
Hell, you got something that can hide my invisibility and make my smell go away, period.
I don't know about smell. I just know about making it invisible.
That'll work.
There are only like a few creatures in this setting that can actually pick up on scents. Nox, unfortunately, is one of them.
No, that's good then. And if Nox is the only one, then I'm fine.
I mean, unless you come across Billy Butcher's family, if they're all werewolves, that'd be the only thing too.
All right. Okay. So you make. I'll say you make 3 potions for Lita and 1 potion of greater invisibility.
I'll also like, because I had 2 of them, I'll give one of the true polymorphs into the bundle in case they need to change appearances.
Okay. Which by the way, a greater polymorph potion, guys, not only changes your humanoid appearance, it can literally change you into anything.
You can turn into a dragon.
Yeah, even dragons. All right. But yes, Mike.
Oh wait, actually transforms them.
Yes, it does actually.
Hypothetically, if I took one of these into the door and I threw it at ends and then turned him into like a hamster.
Yes.
There's a saving.
Let me look up the rules on that. Actually, I'll look it up.
There actually is a saving throw for that, but it could work actually.
So at the same time, I want him to further suffer, so probably best to keep him human.
Also, this is not exactly the most honorable way to fight.
You told me to my face that he himself ain't honorable.
I know I did. I'm just saying, like, because perception and how you presentation matters for this sort of thing. So not that you guys care, but other people do.
Greater polymorph. Let's see.
But while we're waiting for Mike.
I'm still here.
Okay, Mike. So a few minutes pass, and Sariel does eventually come down, and she looks pissed. She looks like she's 10 seconds away from just punching the first person she sees in the face, and then she just looks. Actually, how tall is Sariel compared to you?
I'd have to bring up her character sheet, but Sariel is a half orc, so she's probably 6 foot something.
So yeah, like you're actually almost eye level to her, but not quite. But yeah, she.
Sariel was 6'5", so our Sariel is 2 inches taller than Anaris.
Yeah. So yeah, like you're almost eye level with Sariel, but not quite. And Sariel just looks at you and just says, "Who the fuck are you?"
Ah, dang. You look even more pissed than I last remember right there.
Have we met?
have met. I've lived upstairs for years. But we should probably talk in private.
Why should I waste time with you? I have actual problems I have to deal with, and I've been having a very bad, let's just call it month, a very bad month. So
under her breath, she says, "So I can get my damn fox back."
Unfortunately, Sariel does not hear that. So the next things out of your mouth better be something that is worth my time. Otherwise, I have much better things to do.
Yeah. She's still gone upstairs?
She looks at you. What would you know about that?
More than you'd think.
What's your?
I said best to talk.
What's your armor class?
Album. 20.
Before you could say anything else.
Anyone near me?
Everyone in the guild hall. Everyone is seeing this.
Well, I would like to do this. I would like to redirect attack. So I redirect the strike as a free action to hit someone else.
Hey, I can. I left a message for you.
It's like
no, that works anyway. It's a once a day ability.
Okay, so unfortunately, the only person who's nearby to you is the receptionist who went to get her.
Oh no!
The receptionist to get hit.
Oh no.
Okay.
She kind of just does this with her hands, just like pushing.
And Sariel rolled for. And Sariel rolled for max. Sariel rolled for max. Sariel rolled for max damage with her fist. And and actually
took her down.
Seeing you do that, Sariel is actually going to reach behind herself and pull out a knife.
Stop. Let's not get violent.
Just like
I've been gone for 5 years, and the first thing you do is pull a knife on me.
It's like what have you done with her? And if I don't like the answer you give, this goes underneath every single one of your fingers. I take your teeth first.
Nothing to her, right here, but I would recommend we talk in private.
We talk. Okay, fine.
Or say nothing. Or you
fine.
can go ask Lita. Because I was trying to be nice.
Fine. I will indulge you for 5 minutes. And Sariel turns around. Sariel turns around and goes back upstairs.
I forgot I had redirecting attack because I never get hit often.
Okay. So, meanwhile... well...
Oh, Justice.
It's like, meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice... So, Burchill will do you last. So, like, as all of those shenanigans are going on, the party that is going to be traveling, which I suppose for the sake of right now is just Lita and Enzo.
Oh no, Mommy and Daddy are.
The two of you actually head out towards the front, where a bunch of horses are being set up, and you go to meet all the wild ones. Rowan actually does go out with you guys to take his horse Imperial back to the stables because he was fully expecting to travel with you guys.
So, Lita, you didn't quite answer my question earlier.
What?
So the three of us are going, plus your 50 Scarlet Knights. By the way, a little on the nose, but I dig it. Who else is coming? Because I know you. You're the overprotective type.
Before you can answer this question, Lita, like Ares actually saunters up from behind the two of you and just says, like, well, as we have places that we need to be, my lady, your humble servant Vladimir Lestrade at your service, awaiting your instruction.
Lita looks at him.
You actually watch as he does a very formal bow to you.
Who's all outside?
All of your Scarlet Knights, Hattori and Pyrrha are here, and the only ones, so is Ophelia, but the only ones paying attention to any of this right now are just the two of you. Oh, and Gabrielle's here too.
Lita looks at him.
Mm-hmm.
Disco dance, disco dance.
Yeah. Very funny, Thomas. But I will not tolerate your bullshittery at this time. We are a pressing matter. So if you would be so kind as to finish loading my bags into my carriage, I would appreciate it.
It's like, you watch as like this. You don't need to roll sense motive for this, either of you. Like, you watch as this look of colossal disappointment crosses Ares' face. Like, he definitely put a lot of thought into this. Like the costume, the formal bow, the name. Like, this was definitely something he practiced, and now you're telling him he can't use that name. But it's like, he wants to say something, but he's in character right now, so he can't. So with that, he just stands back up and just very begrudgingly says, "It's like very well, my lady. I need to look up something really quick." And it's like, so it was like, and at that he actually turns to Ophelia. It's like, so Cirilla, if you would not mind assisting me. It's like, and with that, Ophelia does not say anything unless as she goes to help the prince get your bags ready. However, she is I should point this out, Lita. Both Ophelia and the prince are wearing servants' clothes to your house. So technically, while they are in this character, your orders supersede any that Ares will give.
No one man should have all the power. Now put on this clown suit and call me Daryl.
But yes, Ares and Ophelia, or should I say Thomas and Cirilla, are heading over to your carriage to pack your bags, unless you want to give them different directions.
No.
Sorry. It's up.
But yes, like the two of you then proceed to watch as Ares struggles to lift some of your bags into the carriage with his weak nerd arms.
Oh no! My weak nerd arms!
Wow, sports.
Just Gabrielle, watching this next to you, just says, I will not fly. This is the single funniest thing I have seen in the last 6 months.
We're going to be traveling for 2 weeks. He's going to be in character the whole time.
I know. That's what makes this so much better. He was so dedicated to the part too. He even got himself a basic tent for himself. Not a lavish tent, a basic one, something that someone of his stature would stay in.
Jokingly, Lita says, "Aw, he thinks he's going to be sleeping in a tent."
I know. I know.
You get to sleep under the carriage with the dog.
I'm taking that.
We are giving Ophelia the proper treatment, though, correct?
Oh, yes.
Which, by the way, since Pyrrha's traveling with you, you guys will be traveling with the dog, so there is precedent for that.
So, Lita, before our wonderful interruption,
Yes.
who are you bringing with you? I see Pyrrha and I see Hattori here.
They'll probably meet us up outside the city. I'm bringing 50 of the Scarlet Knights, including their leader, Little Red.
They are actually all already here. Like, you guys are standing outside. You guys are standing outside of the. You guys are standing outside of the city walls right now. Like, you're basically like, I'd say maybe half a kilometer outside of the city walls, just like in this open field where like all the horses and all of the carriages have gathered, and like they're like taking a few moments to make sure they have everything and that their horses are fed and taken care of. And actually, you guys do see Little Red over there as well, who's tending to some of the other Scarlet Knights, making sure they're up to standard and that they're actually prepped and ready to go. She's being the captain.
But yeah, that's what Lita indicates
Okay.
to Enzo.
No midwife for you this time?
Lita looks at him.
I'm very straight-faced, and I didn't look at you when I asked the question.
What's his fucking booty call?
Can I roll sense motive?
Sure. Roll sense motive. Are you being straightforward with her, Enzo, or are you trying to deceive her in any way?
The question was genuine.
Oh, well, okay, then in that case...
Behind it is in question.
Well, then in that case,
Yes.
you do not need to roll anything. Zach, just roll sense motive.
26.
Temme, what does a 26 get, Lita?
Gotta get that ass.
He's definitely asking for a couple of reasons. He's keeping the straight face, so he's probably trying to put on a facade for some reason. And then you remember Anaris last night.
He ate all of them.
Lita goes, well, my mother just invited me to dinner at 4.
Nice.
Okay.
Sorry. No, but Lita goes, you know, all things considered, given my current state of affair, it would probably behoove me to bring the midwife, just in case something happens. I mean, it will be a month.
Sure.
Shall I send a courier?
Actually, to expedite this process, Enzo, you know that Anaris is in the guild hall. You can use the sending spell to send her a message to pick up Lashanon, and then on Anaris' way back, she can with her.
I'm going to be coming back with her to see you guys off.
Yo, daughter,
I
need
want to
you to
expedite this process in this way.
Yo.
You can.
I also did give you Bluetooth, remember?
Yo, daughter, I need you to pick up my side piece.
I need you to pick up my side bitch.
You could tell Batman to get her. He's coming back.
Yeah.
To see you guys off.
This is funnier.
Alright.
Yeah.
I'm going to Starbucks. Do you want anything?
I don't want whipped cream.
Enzo's
I appreciate the reference.
Oh, what? 6 degrees, take a pick.
For context, apparently in Anne Rice's vampire books, the vampires are telepathic, which led to this great bit from Dom Noble where he did this bit where he's just like, that must be awkward sometimes. I said I am going to Starbucks. Do you want anything?
What I'm trying to say is that there are ways to expedite the process of getting Lashanon if you really want it.
No, this is gold.
Funnier.
So
Funnier
Enzo,
because Anaris is gonna fucking hate it.
Enzo takes a moment. Like, where's Lashanon at currently?
Lashanon is currently at Lita's house, still living there. In fact, I'm going to say under the assumption that she wasn't coming. Lita, you and Hattori have given Lashanon instructions on how to watch over your house while you're gone.
She is
Great.
fucked
Leave,
up.
leave Nox with something else to watch. Great.
No, Lita will have like 10 wild ones like Scarlet Knight stationed in her house, because I'm imagining like somebody's like, all right, we're gonna break in, and they just open the door, and there's 10 burly ass riders just all at arm. I'm sorry, wrong house.
Guys, Mickey, that would be
Okay.
Oh my god.
Something. Enzo loves that pussy.
Hey, Lita, guess what? You're not the only one who's pregnant on the strip now.
God.
So-
okay. So
Meanwhile, with Burchill, unless there's anything else you guys really want to say or do.
you know, anybody. I have a better idea. And then he turns to look down at you with his trademark wicked grin.
Oh no.
Boy.
Cast the same spell. Anaris, on behalf of Lita, please pick up Lashanon from her home. She is needed for the journey to Scaringard.
You get a response back. I fucking hate you.
which by the way, Mike, this happens during your very long-winded and very detailed-oriented conversation with Sariel, in which she forces you to tell her every single detail of everything that happens.
Shit right here.
Ugh.
But I just want to say, in the middle of your story to her, you get this message.
You're like,
Hold on, Enzo.
so that's why I directly snuck in right there. Dealt with the direct thing. Got jumped by a devil. Swan died off there right there, and then I got transported to the Technicolor Dreamland and ended up back into there after I basically put off the disguise.
Right.
In a sense, with what I did there.
So for the sake of this, what I'm going to say happens is you finish your story. You kind of muddle it. You kind of muddle yourself at the end there.
At the end of it, she does, and I do apologize for sneaking out while I was grounded.
It's like,
but in my dumbass child mind, I thought this would be the best gift to give Enzo. And isn't that what it's all about? Is family.
As you were saying this in the middle of your sentence, Sariel actually walks over to you and gives you a hug. But it's Sariel, so it's one of those hugs that kind of chokes you a little.
I can't breathe.
She doesn't let go for a few seconds, and then eventually she does let you go to catch your breath. What's your armor class?
20.
This is like...
Redirect the hug.
I'm trying my best. I'm a rogue. I'm not supposed to get hit.
She lets you go, and as you're standing there catching your breath.
Ooh.
This is like
Pinky.
It's like that will teach you not to be a fucking idiot. And you're a teenager now. So now I can sweat it around you. Prepare yourself for a very different Sariel.
You just fucking clocked me across the jaw right there.
For you, it has been 5 years. For me, it has been 5 hours. Whatever feelings I was feeling for you before have not entirely worn off.
Freaking honestly, give me a sec. I did deserve that. It's been a while since I have someone hit my jaw out.
For the sake of what happened to you, you're no longer grounded. However, since you have somewhere you have to be, I will take care of Fennec while you are away.
Yeah. Well, that answers that directly right there, because I was going to ask about it, because I did not find her in my room right there.
You actually do see Fennec, who has a little corner bed in Sariel's office. It's a little corner bed and a food bowl and some water. It's the most adorable thing ever.
Oh my god, that fox has got to be so confused. Like, it's like me. It knows your scent, but it's like, this is wrong.
Fox, what is wrong with this child?
How long have I been asleep?
Okay.
Anaris walks up to the fox, picks it up. Wake the fuck up, samurai.
We already burned the city down.
Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, aka Robert Burchill. So Burchill, since you are not going on this trip, as this meeting concludes, where do you go?
Back home to drop off my suitcase and unpack it, I guess.
As you do this, Maria's there, just like, Robbie, what are you doing back? I thought you were leaving.
But I thought I was going to be dragged here as well. But considering everything that's going on, Lita thinks that it's best that I don't go, and I can't help but agree, because with these barbarians that work for the Angelins in the city, I'm not going to leave you here alone.
Hearing that, Maria just walks up and hugs you. She doesn't say anything. She just does that. All right. So, before we take a quick bathroom break and get on to the actual traveling itself, don't worry, Ken and Mike and Grant will occasionally cut back to you guys. But yeah,
Don't forget
before
Jayson. We'll cut back to him while he's in the plane.
Jayson, I have to think of a new solo session for. But in any case, is there, before we take a quick bathroom break and get to traveling, is there anything any one of you guys wants to do?
Well, when I get back to them with their, I want to give them their, like, see Lita off as I give her the potions.
Oh, sure. Like we can say that the party staying home seized off the others.
Who did I open the bank account when? I imagine I had another name, since you can't really have a child open it.
We'll just say you know the name.
All right, so I gotta probably withdraw some money because I had 1,000 gold on me last time before I got. I gotta get some cash back.
Okay.
Yeah, before Lita leaves, I'm gonna tell her that I've got, I'll run things, but I also got plans myself, and I'll tell her quickly that about the one witch hunter girl.
All right. I should also like to point out, Ken, while Lita is gone, as the next highest ranked member within the House of Ford, you are technically in charge of all of the operations under the House of Ford banner. So yes, what this means is you have control of the Underground, the Scarlet Knights, and all of Lita's businesses. Well, technically, Sariel has the businesses. However, you will share that responsibility with her. So yeah. While Lita is gone, you are in charge.
I'd like to imagine that as Lita sees Burchill, like she gives him another hug and then just says, "Don't do anything I wouldn't do." So
Don't do anything.
Do you realize how very few limits there are that went with that statement?
And Lita actually embraces him for another hug, and that's why I like you.
Is Hanzo and Pyrrha going with you?
Yes,
they are.
Okay. So whose family members are left behind? Or wait, okay, none of the other people that are going have family. Never mind.
Technically, Maria is still sticking around.
Well, Burchill will
ain't
be here.
even.
Yeah.
All right, so just checking who I got to keep an eye on, but also I'll give you the potions to help with your sickness, and then like Nox will say, so a month. So if you're already a few weeks along, around 6 a.m.ish, usually at the rising sun, you might want to have a bucket next to you. Yeah, I had to go through that twice long ago.
Wow, I had no idea that you were pregnant.
Lita
Nox just gives you the side eye.
Lita looks at Nox, and she thanks him, puts those potions with her personal belongings, and then she also gives Nox a hug.
Nox returns it because pat. Just be careful down there, and if you see Sir Jonathan, tell him I still wish him well.
Will do.
All right.
And then I'll look at her and go, I'll keep an eye on him, make sure he gets through this. And I'm like, talking about Burchill.
Make sure he gets some sleep. I don't doubt that he's sleeping, but maybe I don't know. Lita just kind of goes, I don't know. Just maybe stop at his place for dinner every now and then, like every other night.
Nox remembers the last time he was at Burchill's house. He asked him to beat the shit out of him because he beat the shit out of you for that tail.
Eh.
Oh yeah.
He's like, okay.
I'm just imagining Burchill sitting there staring at his food, and Burchill's like, "So how's business?" Like Nox is like, "So how's business?"
Quick question though, out of character: is the Inquisitor still in town?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay.
Well, for the answer how it approaches business, well, at least half my employees are in a concentration camp.
Well, at least they're constant.
Anyone have anything else that they need to say or do before you all set off?
I hand the
Malediction.
A kid. I'll just call him kid like usually. A kid. Yeah, I know you still probably in 5 years have picked up more skills, but just in case. And I hand you a potion that's labeled invisible.
Thanks.
Be careful.
That's handy. And I won't have to deal with cameras here, so that'll be a lot easier. Or laser trip wires.
Motion detectors, infrared.
Heat sensors, or any of that stuff.
Nox, this is flying all over Nox's head. He's like, right,
At the same
so-
time, however, Nox, it is giving you ideas.
Yeah, I did invent Bluetooth. I'm like, camera. And he's like thinking of all these things like tripwire. I know that. What's a laser? That's light.
Go see if you can make a battery.
All right. So, as you all get in your carriage to set off, how many? I think each carriage will only seat 6. Ares and Ophelia are going with Lita. Who else is going with you?
Oh, shit. One thing I want to roleplay getting.
Sure.
Oh, I know.
Go ahead.
I gotta get Lashinon.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Just
yeah.
Go back a little.
So you let the Scarlet Knights know who you are. You knock on the door, and then eventually Lashinon answers, "Hello? Oh hey, it's you again. How's it going?
Great. You're coming with us.
I am.
Yep.
What did they?
Dad wants you to come with him.
Oh, he just can't be without me for more than 5 minutes, can he? All right, let's go.
What the fuck? Oh,
What?
about that? No child wants to know that.
You're hardly a child.
You keep talking, I'm gonna hit you. And it's gonna be hard.
Kinky.
Not in that. God, it's like dealing with me. Oh God. Dude.
Oh, Jesus, now there's 2 of them.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. You also notice as you take her with you, Lashinon does not take a bag. She just she just comes as is.
Oh my God, Temme. We're going to Skarsgård, the capital of haute couture, the capital of fucking fine-ass fashion.
Also, not only that, you're going to the city the most famous thing it is known for is the Bard College and the theater.
Oh, I was
No.
thinking this since it's it's pretty much French. You get watching on the French-made outfit.
You can't actually do that there.
Oh no.
Wait a minute. Now that Anaris is 16, how old was Pyrrha again? Is she now the older kid?
They're actually the same age.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna come back and say, "Guess who's the big kid now?"
Technically,
Well, I mean, she's taller, so...
Yeah.
So,
I mean, how tall is Pyrrha? Like, what, 5 something?
she's pretty tall as herself. She's like 5'10", 5'11".
Oh yeah. I just now realized. Now that she's 6'3", Zach, you are now the shortest member of the party again. Then I'm only the second shortest.
Yeah.
All right.
I only beat you like by 2 inches though.
Okay, so each carriage seats 6. Ares and Ophelia are going with you, Lita. Who else is traveling with you?
Hatari and Pyrrha.
Okay, so Pyrrha actually is going to be riding along on her own horse, so she's not going to be in a carriage.
who is?
Pyrrha, she has her own horse, and she also has her bow slung across her back, and her dog is going with her as well.
What that dog doing?
That's 4.
The,
So I guess actually,
the dog is her animal companion.
I was saying a meme.
so I guess we got room for 2 more, so it could be Anaris and Enzo, or yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So he's
Yeah.
not alone with the cat all the time.
Okay. So
Why does
okay,
the carriage keep like swinging side to side?
Shut
Stop.
Okay. So
If the carriage is a rockin', don't come a knocking.
all right.
The
All right,
poor
so
carriage
you-
man up front just trying to has headphones on, like.
All right.
He's got his ears are plugged. He's just like focus on the road. Focus on the road.
So the second you guys are all getting set up to go, like Lashinon meets back up with Pyrrha and just starts hanging out with her while you guys are getting into this carriage, and just after you all say your farewells and as you all are on your way, actually Gabrielle's getting her own carriage. So Lashinon's going with her. That's gonna be fun. But anyway, as you're all on the road, it's just like, so Lita.
Oh,
Ah!
Zach decided he was done. He's like, we're on the road. I'm out of here.
All right, you guys. Well, since he's gone, you guys want to take that break now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
might as well. Oh wait, now he's back.
Okay.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Okay. Really quick, and then we'll take our 5-minute break.
All right.
So it's like, as you are on the road and getting going, Ares drops the axe and looks at you, Lita, with a very serious face. So, all joking aside, I suppose as if my life is now in your hands, Lita.
Always has been.
Well, that being the case, you then watch as he reaches into his shirt pocket, pulls out something and hands it to you. Roll knowledge all for me.
This is a very special watch.
33.
It is not a watch, but it is a ring, and Lita, you know just from one look that it is a very special ring. Lita, this is the ring for House Reyes. So, like, as Ares hands it to you, and just is like, since my life is in your hands, it is only fair that I trust you. This, Lita, is the ultimate symbol of my trust in you. This ring is my life. This ring proves who I am. Are you actually doing that, Mike?
I'm gonna sneak up and sleight of hand the ring out of his face.
Rolls.
I had
What
this
ring?
uncomfortable hunk of metal up my ass.
Roll a sleight of hand for me.
That's a 40.
Like,
I
Lita.
then also, after making a successful sleight of hand check, spend a move action to take the withdraw action as far away as I can.
Are you actually doing this?
You're in a carrot.
What ring? It's like
What-
Lita, you're just looking at it and it's
Like-
going like.
Okay, so here's how this happens. Don't worry, Mike. We'll get to you in a second. It's like, this ring is the ultimate symbol of my trust. Of my trust in you. This ring proves who I am. This ring is my life. And when we get to Skarngard, this ring is the only thing that is going to grant me legitimacy and prove that I am who I say I am. And I am giving it to you.
What ring?
It's at that point that you both look down. Anaris, where did you go?
Oh, I'm back. I basically backed up the way the fuck out I'm going.
Where? You're in a carriage. You're in a carriage that's moving. Where are you going?
Who am I sitting near?
Okay, so on one side of the carriage there is Ares and Ophelia, and on the other side of the carriage there is Lita and Hattori. I imagine Enzo is sitting there as well. So, okay, are you sitting next to Lita and Hattori, or next to what?
Probably next to Enzo right there.
Well, you can't really sit next to Enzo just because of the way it's been set up already. You can sit across from each other.
Sure.
Yeah, toss the ring to Pyrrha. She took it.
Pyrrha's outside.
I know, tossed it outside.
All right, so you very deftly snatched the ring. Even though it was a high roll, okay, so you said you want to take the withdraw action. This carriage is moving. Where do you go?
Draw out up to the top of the carriage.
It's like, what ring?
Keeping a lookout.
It is like,
Totally.
and you say what ring, Lita? As the three, actually 5 of you all look over, and the next thing you know, the door is open, and Anaris is no longer in the carriage with you. She is now up on top of it with the driver.
They didn't even see her open the door. They see the open
Yeah.
door.
Actually, do I have to roll to put 2 and 2 together to get sandwich?
Roll no. You know what? Roll a knowledge all check just for fun.
Wow, that's a 1.
It was the potatoes. The potatoes.
You have no idea what just happened. Enzo, if you would like, you can roll knowledge something to see if you can put 2 and 2 together to make sandwich. Because you were sitting right across from her when you saw this happen.
Kind of knowledge check?
Whatever knowledge you think is applicable to the situation.
Knowledge child.
Knowledge asshole.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Actually, on the plus side, that ring would probably be really safe for the Anaris, because in the event that something goes wrong, she could bamf the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also in the fact that's a cheap as fuck. She's gonna look at it at the top and be like, this is a cheap as fuck ring.
It's only made out of some uranium. Ugh.
Only made out of gold. Fucking plebeians. They can't even go ultra platinum.
Hey, Charlie.
Hi, Charlie.
Charlie.
We split the party.
Yeah, I know you just got here, but we were just about to take our bathroom break, so I apologize. That's just poor timing.
No worries.
Yeah.
but yeah. So, Lady Gabrielle, the very last thing you see as the carriages get drawn off to on the way to Skarngard, as you look out your window, is you watch as this strangely dressed person who you suppose is a mercenary that Lita hired just like suddenly throws open her carriage door and does this awesome action flip onto the top of it. And then that's where we'll take our break. If one of you guys during the break wants to get Charlie up to speed,
all right, I will.
That would help me out so much.
So,
Yeah,
Charlie, Mike's character, remember the little drow girl? You're back on recording.
Okay, so traveling party first.
Right.
The distance from Sanctuary to the border is 17 miles. And because you guys got a bit of a later start with your morning because of your morning meeting, like the Scarlet Knights were actually sitting out there for a while waiting for you guys, but as in that kind of got them miffed. But regardless, because you guys started off earlier, Little Red is suggesting that you guys make camp for the first night just outside of the border crossing, and then cross in the morning, because at the very least, as soon as you cross that border, it's anybody's game. So if you're going to take a rest, it's better to take a rest on this side while you're safe and there's a wall and a river between you and any deadly forces. And when you do cross, it will be daytime. So if anything's coming, you guys should be able to see it. So do you guys gonna go with that suggestion, or do you just want to be expedient and cross the border as soon as you get there?
Mm.
Well, I mean, they are the expert.
Yeah. Gabrielle, you're part of this group. Do you have a say in this?
How long have we been traveling again?
It'd be for most of the day. You should just want to know where you guys are going and what you're doing before we do that. But yeah, so like, Gabrielle, do you want to cross the border as soon as you get there and possibly cross at night, or do you want to side the border first and then cross in the morning?
Is there any reason to believe that we could be being followed or watched?
On this side of the border, no. On the other side, yes. Most definitely, yes.
I think it would be wise to cross at night then.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Enzo, what do you say?
It honestly doesn't matter. We are fractionally safer on this side of the border.
Mm-hmm.
Fractionally. So it's not the worst idea just to sit here and then cross in the morning. Yeah, Enzo will actually say, his vote is to stay here for today, and then in the morning cross when we have the sunrise to deal with any oncoming problems.
Okay, Anaris, what about you?
I'm kind of just hanging out wherever I want. Going from cart to cart, hanging out.
Which, by the way, you jumping between carts while they're moving is kind of scaring some of the people. But like, you've been doing weirder things in the Cyberpunk universe, so yeah, this is cake compared to that. I mean, compared to jumping off a skyscraper and then battling somebody who throws bombs while on a flying surfboard, this is easy.
Yep, Rooney.
Okay, so we have
2 votes for cross at night and 1 for wait till the morning. So Mike, unless you say something, the cross at night option does seem to be the route you guys will take. And are there any objections?
Fine. The one when I suggested cross it during the day.
You don't get a vote.
I did. I was outvoted by the women.
Well,
Yes, you were outvoted by the women.
So, I mean, if that's
They
what
vote by the
I can
matriarch.
hold it against them.
Give me your women.
Well, as there seem to be no objections, that does seem to be the route you guys will take. So, as I said, the distance from Sanctuary to the border with Skarngard is 17 miles. So, in that time, do any of you want to say anything to anyone? Charlie, don't worry about you being in a different carriage. You guys do occasionally stop and talk to each other. So yeah, like this is travel conversation. Oh, and by the way, Zach, this entire time, Ares is freaking out over his missing ring, and because you're in charge of all of this, he's blaming you.
He's blaming Lita for him losing the ring from his own hand.
God, he fucking sucks so much.
But
Yeah, Lita just kind of ignores him.
Right. Okay, so you're ignoring the prince. Is there any travel conversation you guys want to have?
When Anaris finally sits her ass down for 5 minutes.
She's a little bored. Anaris is getting bored. She had constant, what is that? I'm forgetting the word. Constant entertainment, but constant distractions in the fact of the cyberpunk universe.
Yeah.
So she's a little bit, she was a little bored.
Mm-hmm. Also, these carriages go so slow.
That's the word. And those carriages are fucking slow.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm not hearing any conversation. So
give me a moment.
Okay.
Ask Anaris to come back in. She won't.
Yeah, I flag him I flag Anaris to come back inside.
All right.
Ooh, So.
Sup?
What did you do over there?
Just checking out the area. Also, these carriages are so fucking slow. What are you freaking out about?
Like some pin series.
I think we're in a different carriage.
We are? Are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are in a different carriage.
Yeah, that Prince Ares guy isn't really competent. I mean, it was not hard to get this off him.
Of course not. He's barely competent to be a ruler.
That's fucking.
He's barely competent to rule this country.
So I think I'll hold on to this just to be safe.
Just give it to Lita at the end of the trip.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Yes. So, how do you want me to talk to you?
However you talk to me is up to you right there.
Well, she is a teenager now. Lost in this carriage with you guys.
God, I forgot you.
Forgot she exists.
It's like, she is a teenager now, and she is more well traveled and wizened to the ways of the world. Maybe not this world, but of the world nonetheless. So there's little reason to keep anything hidden from her.
Well,
as I know.
That's true. So I'll just treat you like an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see how being a teenager is going to be much different, so treat you like an adult. And,
I'm significantly less of a shit.
Really?
That I know. So you even went so far as to even call me dad.
Well, that's pretty much what you are in that way. Gotta utilize the people.
That is absolutely adorable.
And then there's the shot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is why I like you as much as I do, Enzo. You really do care.
About some people, I definitely do.
Well, I didn't say about everyone, because you know how it is. Sometimes people deserve to fucking die.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
That I can at least agree on with you.
Mm-hmm. And on the note of dying, and people dying. Are you doing okay?
What do you mean? I'm perfectly fine here.
Well, I definitely still have a conscience, I can tell that much.
Oh, that wasn't beaten out of me there.
No.
I mean, they tried. Yeah, they tried.
Yeah.
But I didn't kill anyone. Leaving beaten and broken and bloody on the ground, bleeding out? Perfectly fine. I have not killed anyone.
That is fine. Leaving them beaten and broken and for someone else to take care of will never steer you the wrong way.
As mentioned, I was like fucking Batman over there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that reference, but we'll pass over that.
Rich guy that beats up mentally ill people.
That is weird.
He's a big hero over there.
Mm.
They have a big problem.
Yeah, it sounds like it. But Anaris, just like I told you before, if you ever find a need of someone to be killed or taken care of, just let me know, and I'll do it for you.
Exactly.
And if either of you ever need someone to get information out of someone, I'm very good at that.
Yeah, you'll probably jump their bones immediately.
Well, yeah, that's the best way to get people to talk. You'd be surprised how many secrets people let slip in the afterglow.
I imagine so.
Anaris, does conversation about sex bother you?
No, I've done conversations. It's a little bothersome when your fucking dad is talking about it.
Oh, I get it. I get it now. Look, my dad had like 15 wives. Were they really his wives? He never got married to any of them. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. I guess this is just a little bit more normal for me. So it took me a while to pick up on that. It's like I'm sorry.
I could tell.
It's like Khajiit families are very close knit. There are very few things that are kept secret between us. Like, I'll keep conversation. While you're here, I'll keep conversations like that to a minimum, as difficult as that might be sometimes for me.
Yeah. But I imagine so. I've had many of conversations with people about utilizing sex and other stuff like that.
So anyway, about those furries you were telling me about the other night. Meanwhile, in the other carriage, it's like, so, is it Lita and Gabrielle? After you guys spend a little bit of time calming down Ares to the fact that his ring is not gone and is in fact perfectly safe and is safer than it can ever be in Lita's hands.
They're lying through their teeth.
Well, regardless, Ares calms down for a little bit and just stares across at you two and then at Hattori, and then eventually just says, "So, you must be Ilya Hattori." It's like, I am. I do not. I've heard so much about you, but I do not believe we've ever actually met in person. I saw you at the gala. Yes, yeah, at the gala, but however, I do not think we actually had a chance to speak. Prince Ares Reyes, Crown Prince to the Kingdom of Syria. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. It's like you as well, Your Highness. So Ilya, how does it feel to be the most hated man in this entire country?
What?
It's like,
I'm sorry. What?
Gonna say what the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
what?
Well, you're not in this carriage. You don't hear this conversation. So this is Lita and Gabrielle's turn.
What?
It's like, but actually, Hattori has more or less the same reaction. Just like, I'm sorry. What? No. What? What? Do you not pay attention to the gossip? Do you not know what other people are saying about you? Oh, most
most of your people in Sanctuary right now are following in lot with that crazy genocidal maniac Fenhorel, and to them all humans are enemies, and you, in their eyes, are fraternizing with the enemy on a regular basis. Not only do they hate you, but all the nobility of this country hate you as well, because you represent something that absolutely terrifies the piss out of every single one of them. An elf rising to ranks equal to them. All because of your choice in partners. I understand, believe me I do, that very little, if any of this was by your own hands, but nonetheless, this is where we find ourselves right now. So tell me, how does it feel to be the most hated man in this entire country right now? Hattori has fallen silent completely. You can tell, Lita, he has no idea how to respond to that.
I think it's probably best to be unpopular in a world that's collectively lost its fucking mind.
There we go, the fucking truth.
I could not agree more.
It's like, believe me, just by association with the two of you, he's already unpopular. Hattori, that just looks down towards the floor. If he was going to say anything to anyone, it's out of him now.
Lita puts her hand on his back and kind of rubs his back between his shoulders.
It's like, meanwhile, actually no, Grant's not back yet. Sorry, Ken. We'll get to you when Grant gets back. We'll get to you when Grant gets back.
Back
Lita,
in the carriage, the priest getting choked out.
Lita does have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
To kind of
I'm still listening. I got my headphones on.
To put the prince in his place. Well, he'll be considerably more hated when everyone finds out the truth of it. When finds out one very important detail eventually.
And what would that be?
She looks at Hattori, smiles, and then looks the prince dead in the eye. I'm pregnant, and he's the father.
It's like, I figured that much. Like you said you were pregnant. You said you were pregnant in the meeting earlier, and you do realize because of that, that's only gonna make people hate him more. Not only is he fraternizing with the enemy and possibly on the rise to becoming the first noble elf in this country ever, but now he has been so ingrained into this path because of that there is nothing he can do to escape. That there is nothing he can do to escape from it. That child will be born of nobility, and if everything you in the two of you points to both Lita and Gabrielle, if everything the two of you who are doing comes to fruition in any meaningful way, that child is going to be the first half-elf noble born in this country's entire history. Tell me, you've met the nobles here in Sanctuary. How do you think the nobility of the other cities of Syria, much less Embersoul, are going to see that?
I actually have something to say to that.
All right.
I don't know, probably the same way they reacted to your bastard of a great uncle.
oh.
Come again.
Snap.
Oh,
Come
you
again?
didn't know. Your great-grandfather liked to, as you put it, fraternize with the enemy. He got one of his house servants pregnant, and she gave birth to a half-elf child.
I know you have very little reason to lie to me, Lita. So instead of denying it, I will only ask how you came about this information.
Because I was there when he died. He died. A mutual friend of mine and Gabrielle's performed the autopsy. we discovered that his ears had been rounded through crude means. But moreover, when cutting his body open, we found two things inside of him. One was a note from his mother describing his lineage, and a ring, a house ring, the house of Rhea's ring. Both of which are in my possession.
My family's proclivities aside, I will not deny that this may or may not be true if it turns out to be. However, my family's proclivities aside, it is not my great grandfather, nor is it you whose head is potentially on a chopping block for all this. It is you. Points to Hattori. It's like, Lita, your actions have painted a very big target. It's on your lover's back and on his head, which I imagine has only gotten that much bigger since I imagine you jumped through several hoops to be able to allow him to be the only elf in the city of Sanctuary who's able to walk around it without getting arrested and thrown back into the bits.
Oh, I didn't jump through any hoops. I made a deal.
It doesn't matter what you may or may not have done.
Inquisitor.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you may or may not have done. The point is how everyone else sees it. This may not matter to you, Lita, but it does matter to me, and it matters to a lot of people. Have you ever once given any thought to what's going to happen with your family, your organization, and indeed the rest of the elves once this war is over?
Yes.
Because I'll tell you one thing for absolute certain. You may have me convinced. You may have most of the nobility of Sanctuary convinced. The people of Embersol, the rest of the country, they are not going to take to this nearly as kindly as myself. They will not like him, and they almost certainly will not like you. And when people don't like you, they're less inclined to do things for you. Some of them might even take steps to put things back the way they were. Especially considering that the war we had just finished fighting was with his kind. I merely speak the truth. This is something you're going to have to get out in front of at some point, Lita, and you. If you intend to survive this war, I would at least give some thought to that. You may not like having to placate to the whims of other nobles, but at some point you're going to have to. Especially when you stop killing people to get what you want. Gabrielle, I will say this does hit a little close to home for you with your backstory.
Our path is difficult, and our obstacles may be insurmountable. In other words, absolutely nothing has changed. Do you have anything to tell us that we don't know, Ares?
That I am incredibly nervous.
Ares picked the wrong card to sit in.
It's like, but yeah, in answer to your question, Gabrielle, he says that I am incredibly nervous. You think Hattori is hated right now, I'm about to be married to Emperor Lysander's daughter. A country that we've been at war with for as long as most people can remember.
Oh, suck it up.
Believe me, I'm
boo-hoo.
trying.
You're marrying a rich noblewoman from the south.
A rich noblewoman from the south whose father is very admittedly a very dangerous man and represents a country where magic is legal. It's no secret to any of you that I grew up in the eternal fire faith. Tell me, how do you think this makes me feel? How do you think this makes my father feel, knowing that his son is tying together political relations with a country that by law allows something that is anathema to everything the church believes. A church he very adamantly believes in more than any of us here.
I'd like to point out, meanwhile, he's sitting across from a bard Aasimar that can use magic and a druid? Question mark?
No,
Cleric.
Me? I'm a sorceress.
Sorceress. Yeah. This is kind of like,
The dude's preaching to the wrong choir.
Yeah.
Well, me, it sounds like an opportunity for personal growth, should you choose to take it.
I suppose one way or another I'll have to, but I've never met a woman. I don't even know her name. What am I gonna say to her when I see her?
I got a bucket of fried chicken.
You're hot.
Well, first, take your hands out of your pockets. Oh, dear God, we're going. You put me in this position again, motherfucker.
As Lita breaks into song to break up the mood. Meanwhile, in Sanctuary. So everyone has since set off. Burchill and Nox, if you're there.
I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. What are
He's laying down.
What are they doing?
Well, with Burchill, I tried to get some food in Burchill, I guess, after seeing how ragged he was for the trip. Like, you want some eggs? Alright, I'll go take him to some, I guess, equivalent of this world's Denny's.
They're
Oh,
They're
you're
actu-
going to Waffle House and you'll like it.
No!
There actually is a place that does that. So while you are getting Burchill a very hearty breakfast, is there anything the two of you want to discuss while you are alone in a city that you are now technically in charge of? What I'm saying is, if you want to make your own plans independent of Lita, this would be the time to do it.
Alright, Lita's gone. Let's throw the most wicked party. Hell yeah!
Wicked Rager,
From the
bra.
city down from the skylands on top of the world.
Well, no, these are plans we should be discussing in public.
Yeah, I'll wait till he's done eating and I'll just be trying to gauge him, try to, like, hopefully take his mind off things.
Alright.
So, I've been coming up with a few recipes here for the month. Remember whenever we were up against the orcs and I gave you that, I gave it to Rowan, didn't I?
Yeah.
When I gave Rowan the thing to increase his muscle mass.
All I remember about that fight is all the water.
There was a lot of water, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there was.
Yes, one might say it's a water world.
Well, they had a very watery grave.
But I've been working on a few things. What would you feel is more necessary, to be faster or stronger? Next to the upcoming fight.
Question for mechanics based: would this be something that increases his strength or dex?
Yeah.
I believe most of the weapons do you use strength when you attack, or do you use dex?
I believe Dex, but let me check.
Which of the two is higher?
My Dex.
Okay. So if you do you have the weapon finesse feat?
Useful feat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's a ranger. I would assume he does, so he could use
Yeah,
a weapon.
I believe you too. I believe you do because I know you took the 2-weapon fighting approach when rolled up. But I'm just confirming.
I only have 2 weapon fighting.
Well, listen. So yeah. In that case for melee combat, you would be using your strength.
Really, as a ranger?
Because
Unless you have weapon finesse, which gets around it.
he doesn't have the weapon finesse feat. So yeah, unfortunately.
Well, we did just level up. Can he just take it?
I don't know if you can take new feats at level 14.
I can.
Yes, I think.
Yeah. I got. I don't know how the ranger looks, but I think it's like every 2 or 4.
Let's find out.
Let's find out.
Okay, character advancement. Let's see, level 14. No, you do not take a new feat at level 14.
Damn.
So yeah, for melee combat, for you, Burchill, it would be strength.
All right. So if I gave you something that gave you a +4 to strength, what would that put your strength at?
+4. So, wait, +4 to the modifier or to strength in general?
Strength in general.
That'll bring my strength up to 16.
All right.
16. That's actually not bad.
But Burchill goes, although, well, the strength one may sound more beneficial, there is something that I'm going to need you to do for the fight.
Anything, kid.
Some time ago, I commissioned some bolas from a toy. For some reason, he had the idea to make them hollow. I didn't request this, but they can be filled. I want you to fill those up with whatever you can to make them explode. I am taking that bastard's fucking legs.
That would actually be dex to throw those. Actually, hold on one second. I need to confirm something.
I could fill them with something besides explosives. I could actually make them freezing to where his legs get frozen in place, and then he could shatter them. I could do it. I'll say that in character. I'll whisper because, like, if we're still at the restaurant, I'll whisper like, I can make them have a few more properties if you want. Freeze them, melt them with acid, stuff like that.
No, too dangerous. I want to blow them all. Because, as much as I want to kill him, the letter wrote me before all this happened, she specifically asked me to. I am going to respect those wishes.
Okay. Would you like anything with the freezing ability? It'll slow them to help you wail on them better. Like besides your bolas with it.
No, that might stand out too much, not look natural.
Actually, technically, Burchill, like the stipulation of your duel says you can come into the arena with anything that you can carry in a reasonable trip. If it's not directly magic and they see you throw something, regardless of whatever effect it has, unnatural or otherwise, it is technically allowed. The stipulation of your contract.
And mine's on science.
Look, the rules of this country are weird.
Mm-hmm. I know. That's why I'm clearing this up now.
Probably some dumb noble who's going to be like, "Oh no, that's magic." Yep.
And he says, "Actually," and then you have my scientist here, and I'll just show up. Here's how the mechanism works. This is called nitroglycerin, and it's at negative something Kelvin.
I would also
I don't want anything
Sure.
less personal that way.
Also, I would just like to point out, Nox, that under the stipulation of this contract, there's nothing preventing Burchill from, like, say, putting a paralyzing oil on his blades, or something to that effect. So every time he cuts him, he would have to roll a saving throw to resist that.
But, say Birch. This man.
I mean, you can use any effect you want. So
Yeah. And that's why I have to ask a question.
Mhm.
I get the feeling he doesn't play fair. Do you think he might actually have some? I look around, arcane abilities himself.
Burchill, roll a knowledge local.
I don't know if he's hiding a magical ability. You never know. These nobles have all the secrets.
Mm-hmm.
15.
What you know about the Anslin family, what most people would know. However, what you do know is this: like most of the nobility in Enversol, he is a very devout believer in the eternal fire, and he is also fought, and he and his house have fought in many battles against Skarngard and against mages in particular. So he would have a particular disdain for magic, just by experience.
I guess Berto mentions that, like, yeah, he probably doesn't, though. Though who fucking? I mean, Billy Butcher was a follower of the church, and he was a fucking werewolf.
Yeah, true that. But I mean more along the lines of the holy magic type. Like, does he just like God damn, the Van Leptons were the ones we just wiped out, right?
Yeah. Von Everix. Also,
Or
holy magic would not be particularly effective against Burchill at all, just because he's a regular person. If he was an undead, or like maybe a demon or a devil of some kind, it might make a difference, but it would shit to Burchill.
Well, say that for what Enzo does, lighting people on fire.
That's hellfire. That's different.
Well, to Nox, it's all the same. These people set people on fire all the time.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if it was holy fire, it would just do the damage of fire. Burchill, being a human, would not make that much of a difference. Again, if he was undead or possibly possessed by a spirit or a demon, that would make it a different story. But he's not.
Well, I'm just thinking of what else clerics can do. They can, like, create water and, like, make them slip up, or they could, like, oh, here's a guiding bolt or something. Now I have advantage on you.
Mm-hmm. That's 5e.
But since we're here, since never got a chance to hand this to him in character, but Burchill pulls out a letter and hands it to Nox. Do not open this. This letter is what I have that got Lord Enzo to even agree to this fight. If anything happens, not particularly if he tries to get out of it, tries to screw me before the fight, or more realistically, if he doesn't meet the timeline to get the letter back to me, I want you to send this out to what was the name of the king? The king. The king of Kavir. I forgot his name, but Kavir is a neighboring country to Syria here in the north. I need you to get this to the king of Kavir. And I should point out, Nox, that the envelope that Burchill gave you already has an address on it, and the postage has been paid. So all you would have to do is just drop it in a mailbox.
I probably want to get that personally, like, instead of trust in the mail. But I'll look at this and go, why would you give this to me? Because of all the other allies, except for maybe the kid. You're the only one he has no idea exists. If he sends his men down to shake down my allies to try to find this information, he's not going to suspect you. I do make a habit of not trying to show up on people's radar. All right. Very well. I'll keep this safe then. Let's hope.
Meanwhile,
I'm going to tell him. Let's just, hopefully, best case scenario, I don't have to mail this, and you put that bastard down on the ground where he belongs.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice...
Where's the Hall of Justice?
The Hall of Justice is in another universe.
Oh.
It's like... I mean, multiple
Absolutely, I mean,
universes
on paper,
exist
I
now.
would
This has
say.
been confirmed. But yes, traveling party. You are now approaching the border, and as you have decided to cross at night, like you are proceeding towards it, and as you approach, you stop, and before long, Lita, someone comes around towards your carriage and just whaps on the door.
Yes.
It's just like, whose company is this? Who is like, who are you and what business do you have traveling across the border at this late hour?
I'm Lady Lita Ford of Houseford. This is my traveling companion, Gabrielle de Lioncourt of House Lioncourt.
Very well. What business do you have south of the border?
We are on a diplomatic mission to meet with the Emperor of Skarngard and the Duke of Axion.
Hmm. Do you perhaps have proof?
I produced the letter.
Okay. You produce the letter. He reads it. Hmm. Very well. He's like, very well. Apologies, ma'am, but before we let you through, we are going to have to inspect your belongings, and we're going to have to inspect your belongings, and as well as those traveling with you. These are dangerous times.
I understand. That's why I'm traveling with contingents.
Very well. If a lot of you will please step outside. All right. So, as all of you dismount from your carriages, Mike, you look like the human.
You're muted, Mike.
Yes, I look like the human, and I'm gonna come out of the carriage and be like,
What are you doing?
holding my hands up. I have no weapon shown. Directly, officer.
Very
Don't
well.
tase me, bro.
Very well.
Oh my god.
Drop hands down.
Despite the late hour, you watch as a bunch of different. These are Syrian army officials, by the way. So their uniforms and their weapons and armor are much better grade than those in the Sanctuary City Guard. But yeah, like you watch as you all dismount, you take a few steps away from your carriages, and they not only take time to go through all of your bags, they also sequester Hattori and Ophelia, so somewhere away from the lot of you, and you can just tell from where you stand they are very viciously questioning them. And actually, while they're doing that, someone walks up to you, Lita, and just says like, I'm terribly sorry, my lady. It is to my understanding that this is your traveling company.
Yes.
You are aware, of course. You are aware that you are traveling in the company of elves.
Yes.
Do you trust these elves?
Yes.
How long have you known them?
Points at Ophelia.
Mm-hmm.
Several months. She came recommended from a good friend. She, points at Pyrrha, is my adoptive ward. And looks at Hattori. He is my personal companion. I've known him the longest.
How much trust do you place in this personal companion of yours?
My life.
And this friend of yours who recommended the third one this friend of yours who recommended the one to you that's not a member of your family. You trust this friend?
Yes.
This is like you are aware. It's like all four of you party members are privy to this conversation. Like, you're standing nearby as this is happening, so if you want to chime in at any point, you can. But yeah, he just says like, you are aware, Lady Ford. You said your name was?
Yes.
You are aware that Lady Ford, beyond this point, I see you brought people with you, but beyond this point, the Syria nor anyone uninvolved in the Syrian army or otherwise can guarantee your safety nor the safety of anyone you travel with. It's like beyond, just on the other side of that river there, that is contested territory. I'm under no such orders nor any obligation to stop you from traveling to whatever destination you are. However, I must nonetheless warn you. Past this point, none of your safety is guaranteed, regardless of your rank, protection, or social standing.
I am aware.
Very well. Now, lastly, among your belongings, is there anything you need to declare?
I just wanted to ask, I assume any, like, spell components I have... First of all the spell components I have are quite small, and I assume I would just keep them on my person and they wouldn't search me. And I assume I'm not stupid enough to have anything out in the open.
Of course not. And, like, if you want to keep your spell components on you, you can. They are not searching you guys. However, they are searching all of your cases. So, like, if you did bring spell books with you, unless you, like, went through an effort to hide them, they're probably going to see them.
If I had brought them, I would have gone through considerable effort to hide them. I'm trying to remember. I don't remember if I actually need them to spells. I think I have some memorized, so I could have left them.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need them to cast spells. What you need them for is to have them memorized and to learn new spells. Because yeah, like, if say like you switch out one spell for a different one on a different day, like, you need that spell written down in a book somewhere in case you need to refer to it again.
And how long is this trip? Was this trip supposed to take initially?
About a month. If you know which spells you wanted to have prepared and you have no plans to change them out, then there's no reason at all to take any of your spell books with you.
Okay, yeah, I will say I left them at home, but the components are on my person.
Okay. So, and the good news with your components is that by themselves they are just nothing. So, like, there's very little reason for anyone to suspect them, because yeah, like, if you guys do have any purses or anything on you or stuff like that, they do search those too. But, like, again, they're just things. So, like, why would anyone suspect them? So, actually, luckily for you, they rolled for dumbass. It's like, but yeah, like, unless any one of you wants to say anything to any of these people or do anything while you're at the border or while your elf compatriots are being very viciously questioned. Hey. Yeah.
Hey. How much does it cost to end the conversation? I know the usual going rate was probably about a few thousand credits right there. How much do you want to just end the conversation right here?
And that, as you're saying that, somebody walks over towards the officer that has been questioning you, Lita, and says aloud, "They're all right. No contraband."
Lita's just thinking about. Lita's just kind of casually looks over to Anaris. Is just like, "God damn it, child."
Oh, I'm asking a legitimate question.
At the wrong time.
No, this is legitimate in the other world.
Yes, at the wrong time. Regardless, it's like, very well. our business here is concluded, and all of your documents appear to be in order, and all of your passports are current and officially signed and stamped with royal approval. So, which is something Integra took care of for you, by the way. So, whatever business you have in Skarngard, good luck. If I might make a suggestion, once you cross, I'd recommend following the Pontar for quite a ways, as opposing just going straight to your destination. Vizima is, well, let's just call it like it is. Vizima is a complete unknown. We have no idea what's out that way. So if you can stay away, as far away from it as you can, the better. All right. Lower the bridge. And with that, as all of you and your Scarlet Knights put all their things back. For some people, it takes a while to put all their things back into their bags and put their bags back on horses. You watch as the wooden drawbridge that separates your side of the Pontar, the river that divides the countries, and Skarngard suddenly close. And actually, as you cross this bridge, it does occur to you, this river is incredibly wide. It is wide enough that you could have possibly taken a ship through here. But the time for that has passed. As the traveling party crosses the Pontar, and you are now back in a place you have not actually seen for quite some time. And actually, while it might be night, you actually do. There's still a bit of a shantytown on the other side of people who are trying to get across for various reasons, but there's considerably less of them now, and there are no elves that you can see. Regardless, you cross without incident, and you eventually find a place on the other side to camp for the night. Now, we at this point have a crossroads. Burchill and Nox, as a new day dawns, and as actually several new days are going to dawn as you guys will be traveling for a number of days, is there any conversation that you feel you need to have, or anything you feel needs to get done in the day that you are traveling? Because we're going into montage mode right now.
Gonna have a
montage.
We should probably get that. I gotta get the undergrounds, let them know with Lita's seal whenever the what was it, the dossier?
Yeah, the dossiers.
We gotta look at the dossier.
Figure out how to get the elf guy.
Okay. In going to
that's his name.
In going to the underground headquarters and actually presenting the written letter from Lita to Austin Creed, the guy who's in charge of the underground, he actually takes you down into a basement where it's like this place used to be a meth lab, but now it's filled with papers and all kinds of different people cataloging information. However, there is a side room here where there are a bunch of people going through a bunch of boxes of files. There's 12, there's 13 in total. And one of these people, the one that you actually recognize is leading this operation, is Vess. You remember Vess? Rowan's
wait, yeah. Isn't that someone from the Orc campaign or the Orc?
Yes, actually was. She was one of the people who came back to the city with you after that.
Yeah,
She got a job in the city guard for a while, but then unfortunately, very recently, had a run-in with the Inquisitor. Remember that the Inquisitor gave Lita a choice: shoot Vess or shoot Gid. So yeah, she's the one that lived. But yeah, she does appear to be the one heading this investigation.
And Lita gave her a new lease on life by working for Lita until she's redeemed herself.
We should probably get some info on the Inquisitor too, so we know when, because eventually we're gonna kill the dude.
No,
No.
No, eventually. I said eventually.
No,
No,
we're not.
Yes, yes.
No, we're not.
I will in the future if you guys don't want to.
After
No,
the war.
no, you're not.
Yeah, and after the
you can
war,
do it
yeah.
yourself. After the war, you can do it yourself.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
We
do it
are not
anytime
involved.
soon. I said eventually
All right.
because I'm tired of hearing his voice.
All right. So, in going through the information that they have thus far collected, because it's only been like 2 days, what they've done is that they've actually started to compile a list beginning on a certain day that was determined by Vess and one of the other guys who worked there, like around the time this whole insurgency started. They've started to compile a list of everybody that was seen by Alphonse and everybody that was seen by Sylar, and moreover, people who keep coming back, and this is a list that they're cross-referencing with known insurgents, or I suppose I should say terrorists now, and elves who are suspected of being terrorists, and seeing how this lines up. This is a list that they are in the process of making, and from what you can see thus far, it does appear that Sylar has had more people visit him than Alphonse in recent months.
Question. Lita, did you ever, after the description I gave from the one guy that was going in and out of the witch hunters, like the police house in disguise, did you ever figure out who that was with the underground? There was this elf that was going in and out of there. He was in disguise, and I saw them when I snuck into the witch hunters' headquarters that they had in the city. And I filed it away. I gave you his description, but I also filed his scent away.
Zach, you have no idea what he's talking about. This was never discussed.
Yeah, it was. Like I told Lita about that.
Lita never took care of it in any of her solo sessions.
Yeah.
Damn it, Lita. Fine, I'll ask this guy if they have any descriptions of that guy.
One of the person you ask is just like, not that we are aware of. However, we'll keep that in mind as we keep going through these names.
Like I'll give him a sketch just in case like any of their informants see them, but also what his disguise looks like.
That actually very vastly helps. In fact, I'm actually going to roll for them to see if any of them recognize this person. Now remind me what circumstances did you see this person in?
Remember when I snuck in to go drug Roth, and I was seeing them all, but then I saw this like a guy that was disguised, and like it was like an elf or something, but then he took like this, he transformed his appearance, and I saw it, and then he exited the building. And then I filed that away. I'm like, because I was busy with Roth. I'm like, well, that's suspicious because he had like the pin of Lita's organization. Like it was a smiley face, and then he changed his appearance and left. But he was talking to them in there for some reason.
None of them recognize this person. However, based on the story you give, like they do put forward the possibility that it was magic. That was not his actual appearance. He used magic to change it.
Well, yeah, like I think I saw both of his faces though. That's why I was like saying I had the sketches.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna hold on to it, and like they'll keep it just in case. However, they do say prepare for the possibility that this might mean nothing because it might have just been a disguise.
Well, yeah, but I also got his original face too, and also the disguise face. So
yeah. All right. Well, they'll see if that comes up. Burchill, did you have any questions?
Beyond, trying to figure out a plan to get the Sylar guy, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to take him when he's alone, probably en route to, if they got a schedule of meeting, probably lay a trap for them, drug him, and take him off.
Sylar, along with the rest of the elves of the City of Sanctuary, is currently sequestered in the Bits. So in order to get to Sylar, you're going to have to go through a line of Knights of Ansland and Knights of Lupton guards because they're not letting anybody enter or leave that section of the city. And
I can fly.
You can, but if you want But what I'm saying is, if you want to get Siler, you'll have to figure out a way to get into this section of the city, find out where he is, and then somehow get him out.
Well, I got
we've
this
traveled
guy.
through the sewers before.
I've also got transformative things that makes us look like we belong here.
And actually, since you are with the underground, they do know routes through the sewers and through the bits in particular that you could take. In fact, the casino that are operating out of right now is actually just on the entrance to the bits. Like, in fact, walking in here, you could actually see that line of security guards that were preventing people from entering or leaving. But yeah, they do know routes into the bits and out.
Also, we have Rowan.
Rowan is a half elf, so
I know, but he'll be able to like tell us like, okay, here's the rats. Pretend to help us around here when we're looking for wherever he's at.
Rowan actually has his own thing going on right now, so you actually have not seen him for a while, and we will resolve that in his solo session.
He's dead.
Well, Rowan died years ago.
Okay,
we have to let him go.
Okay, so for now, as far as just making a plan to get Siler, like you know a path to get him in and out. Should I just say like you can send a member of the underground to like sneak through the bits at night and find out where he is?
Yeah, they're better at it than us, I suppose.
I mean you can do it yourself, but you can do it yourself, mate, since like you can fly and it'll be dark, so you can just go on the roofs of buildings.
They fly now?
I'll also keep every chance I get. I'll keep up my whole plan of tormenting Roth by making sure he never sleeps by giving him nightmares.
Roth has been increasingly difficult to find, like over these past few days. Like
I don't have to see them. I just have to make sure take a chance. And if he ever dozes off, I use the dream stuff.
Oh, you're doing the dream thing?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Every time I do the dream thing, I'm making sure he doesn't get a restful sleep, and he just goes even more insomniac to him.
All right. So for flavor, just what sorts of things are you saying to him?
Well, first I need a spotter there for the nights because I'm in the bathtub doing science, so I'll make sure Burchill helps me out. But I'll just be tormenting him because now that he's on to it, I'll keep pretend. Now he doesn't know that I know that he knows, so I'll keep with the original plan so that he thinks I'm falling into his plan. So I'll just keep sending him messages, son, and like feelings of guilt, like waking up in night sweats and stuff. This guy is not gonna be healthy.
Okay. So
also some paranoia on his, some more paranoia because they didn't want Maxwell to know. Some paranoia of him, the Inquisitor.
Okay, so that's the inner city party, traveling party, montage mode.
Down.
Yeah, montage mode. You guys are going to be traveling for a number of days. Is there anything you wish to say to each other in that time, or is there anything you wish to get done while you are out on the road?
Yes.
Or is there anything you would like to pay particular attention to?
Yes, there's something I'd like to do.
Speak.
All right. During the traveling time, the Pura's been on her horse and such, I imagine, throughout a lot of this time, right?
Oh yeah. She's actually been kind of sort of acting as a scout for you guys, because like on her suggestion, she is an elf, so she's much less likely to be targeted out here. So yeah, she has been riding out a little bit ahead of you guys and acting as a scout to like see if anything is coming.
I'm going to use my grapple in a specific way to like land on a horse, if possible.
How are you doing this? Because that's going to affect the DC of the roll you need to make.
Rollbacks, I think.
But like how are you doing this? Are you like grappling onto her? Are you grappling onto her horse? Or are you like grappling onto a carriage and like doing a cool
Basically, yeah. It's kind of like, Just Cause.
Yeah.
How you can grapple and just build up more and more speed.
All right, so for this, I'm going to say roll me an acrobatics check.
Yeah. Nat 20.
Okay, so here's what you do. Because Pura is on her horse and she is moving, it's kind of difficult to grapple onto her. But what you do is like you hold your arm out, just time it just right, and then just after she passes by Lita's carriage, you grapple onto the carriage, zipline yourself towards the carriage, use use the momentum. Let go at the last minute. Do an epic flip as you just land behind her on her horse. Ah! Just pulls out a knife. She's like,
Please.
"Why did you do that?"
Because it was funny. And it was fun. That's why I do a lot of things.
Never understand you. Well, anyway, since you're
Do you
here
understand me
now,
more now, or could you not understand me before?
a little bit of both. You and I had very different lives. Well, in any case, you're here now. You want to be my backup?
I'm bored. There's nothing going on other than the fucking continuous flirting.
It's like,
God. Sly-handed flirting that they keep trying to be coy about that shit.
Hey, Grant. Jayson just texted me asking if it's a bad time for Rowan to have some of Nox's moonshine.
Burchill.
He can have all the moonshine. He can have it all.
It's never a bad time.
Shots. Shots.
Just give him all the moonshine. Just funnel it.
Okay. So while you're doing that, rest of the party, is there anything you guys want to say or make sure gets done in your travel time?
Yes. While I'm Purist, I'm also going to be like, so...
Sorry, I thought you were done. I apologize.
He's like, so, I know it was only a day that I was technically gone, but how's it going with you and Rowan?
Will you please stop talking about that?
No, I know you have the massive crush on him right there. And I am rooting for you, girl. Right there.
You are?
Oh, yeah, forbidden love, going in that way. I can understand why you're attracted to him.
Who said it was forbidden?
I mean, he's a little older than you.
You didn't grow up in the sanctuary cities like I did. Age is really just a number.
And that is incredibly creepy right there. Now, if he was actually reciprocating the feelings, I'd call him more so going the fact of grooming you into the specific woman that he'd want there. But seeing as that's not going on, then I think we're good in that portion.
What
And
the
I can see
actual
what you're-
fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about where it came from. Night City. It's more purely human right there, so...
You're gonna have to.
There are plenty of fucked up shit with people going after young people. Very strange.
You're gonna have to tell me a bit more about this Night City place. It sounds unique. In the meantime, I'll tell you about where I grew up, and I'll explain to you how this is kind of more or less normal for us.
Not going back into that point, I can see why you're attracted to Rowan. I mean, he was the only one that could kick my ass that I've met right there. Everyone else over there, no contest.
When did you fight him?
It was in like a bar, I think, right there. Like a fighting circle or whatever. Fought him right there. He knocked me on my ass, but I got a second wind, came up and knocked his ass down. He was close, but not close. Not close enough right there. No one has. Very sad.
Well, Lashanon was giving me advice on how to approach him, and to be honest, I was gonna put some of that advice into practice on this trip, but then Mom decided he wasn't coming, so that ruins that plan.
Advice. Unless you want a quick fuck right there, rather than anything emotional.
I mean, sex is half of what love is, isn't it?
Well, sex is a passion thing, apparently, and a way to blow off steam and various other things.
It's
also a great way to spread diseases, apparently.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you and me both, unfortunately, there. As mentioned, nobody could kick my ass, so why would I give them the time of day?
Is that a prerequisite for you falling in love with them or doing anything with them? They have to kick your ass first?
Yes. They have to beat me completely. Right there.
Oh, no.
Not completely. Or no respect.
Oh, no. I see where the... Oh, no.
What?
Oh, no.
Yes.
What'd you get there, Zach?
You bastards.
Roll a perception check for me. Mike, roll a perception check for me.
Got it. Okay. 17 plus 37.
Okay, hold on. I need to look. I need to look up what the DC of this is. What'd you say it was? 37?
37.
Okay, keep that number in mind. Rest of party. Before we get to, what are you guys doing?
At some point, I meet up with Lita and Gabrielle because I imagine they want to get away from the prince at some point.
Yeah. Like, also, which by the way, did you guys take his tent?
Yes, I took his fucking tent.
Yeah, he gets to sleep under the carriage, like with the dog.
I took his tent because it was funny.
He is swearing revenge against you at some point.
Try, because you can't, because you're pathetic and small.
But in any case, Enzo, what are you doing?
So I walk up to the ladies who are probably just relieved to be away from the prince for 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And also so I can separate from Lashanon for 5 minutes as well.
All right. Lashanon, by the way, actually, no, forget it. Keep going.
Straight to your character, you should wash that carriage.
I walk over them and I'm like, well, ladies, how's the prince been?
Insufferable.
Yeah, sounds like royalty.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be completely fair, he was actually being quite cordial and polite for most of the trip. You guys started making him sleep on the floor.
I mean, maybe if he was actually...
No, he deserves it.
Yeah.
Fucking little pussy.
The boy has barely seen hardship in his life.
Yeah.
Builds
Yep.
character.
Yep. We have 14 days to humble. We're on day 5-ish.
Regardless.
How tall is Ares again?
Ares is like 5'3", maybe 5'4".
He's so tiny.
He's barely taller than Lita.
Oh my god.
Actually, no. Hold on. I need to confirm something.
Yeah, because I'm like,
He's
damn.
surrounded by tall women.
His ultimate nightmare.
Pretty much.
Actually, no. I rescind that. The height of the person I based him off of is 6 foot even. So that's how tall he is. I'm terribly sorry.
Damn it.
He's the same height as Enzo.
Yeah. Ophelia is slightly taller than he is.
Lita's a solid 5'2".
Some people are 6 foot, but they have 5'4" energy.
And if Ares yells at me, I'm going to be like, if you want the tent back, kick my ass. Beat me. And I'll give it to you.
He never does at any point.
Pussy.
Which by the way,
I'll harm you.
which by the way, like
Literally does like, the short person.
Which by the way, in the days leading up to Mike, what you did, you guys have noticed that Lashanon have been talking quite a bit more and more. And Zach, remember that conversation you overheard them having in your solo session?
Oh god.
That is unfortunately continuing.
I know.
So yeah, you guys all watch from a distance as Lashanon educates Pyrrha on the finer means of seduction. Seduce!
Yes, you do that and you get a bucket of fried chicken.
That is more or less what they're doing. They're going through they're going through those same lessons, just with Lashanon and Pyrrha.
Raising children.
Lita looks at... Yeah, Lita pauses and has a think about that, considering...
You can't get rid of point, you know that, right?
What was that?
We're rid of her at this point.
I mean,
It'd be too difficult.
you need a deep enough body bag.
Yeah. Besides, I think if I got rid of her, she'd be mad. I think you'd be mad at me more so than her.
I can still go either way on that.
Lita just kind of mumbles, keep telling yourself that. But
We're in the mood.
Any.
I like the big pizza pie. That's a...
But since we're on the... Actually, Lita turns to Gabrielle. Since you're more the expert on these than us, what can you tell us about the Emperor? My brief interaction with him was holding him at crossbow point, telling him if he wanted to get across the border alive, he'd have to pay me.
Gabrielle, roll knowledge nobility.
That's what I was about to ask. 2 seconds.
Okay.
I know I have a big bonus on nobility.
Okay.
Where is it?
And this is foreign nobility,
I
so
got a
it's...
+9. Okay.
I mean, this is foreign nobility, so DC is going to be a little higher, but you still have connections in the court, so you would know something.
Unnatural 20.
Damn.
Ooh. Okay, so...
Hey.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Emperor Aaron Blackwell Lysander of Skarengard is... Well, to say that he is a very powerful and a very dangerous man would be an understatement. The Emperor of Skarengard that you guys are technically in right now is twice the size of the kingdom of Syria. So he rules over a bunch more people and commands so much power that honestly compared to King Aegon, that there really is no comparison. You do also know that both of them are equally as stubborn as each other and have very few tolerance for bullshit. You also know that Emperor Lysander has a very particular nickname: the White Flame dancing on the graves of his enemies. This is because when he was a much younger man and when he rose to power, there were some people who did not agree that he should be emperor. So there was kind of a minor conflict about this, during which point the old palace Halmsharal, the capital city of Skarengard, was destroyed. When the conflict was ended and Emperor Lysander was named the emperor, he ordered the construction of a new palace. Just after he had the enemies who tried to have him killed buried on the grounds where this palace would be built, and then built a grand ballroom over the spot where their graves were. And then as soon as this brand new palace was open, he held this massive ball where he took his wife and his empress and quite literally danced on the graves of his enemies.
Man, that place must be super haunted.
How romantic.
But unfortunately for them, this is a place where magic is legal, so if there were ghosts, they had them taken care of. It's like you also know that the emperor has... Hold on, I need to pull up the name members, because let's see, names.
Remind me of his general political leanings. Is he sympathetic to our cause, or is he?
No.
Okay, I didn't think I wanted to.
He does not like the church. He's not like the Church of Eternal Fire at all. He and King Aegon have been very stubborn and very bitter rivals for decades. And if prior to this whole situation you guys were in, if Emperor Lysander his way, much like King Aegon, Lysander would be walking into his new palace in Embersoul with King Aegon's head on a spike for all to see.
I mean, is that bad?
I mean, depends on your view of the man, but yes, a year ago, Emperor Lysander is a man who would have relished walking into Syria as his newly conquered territory.
All right, so I relay all that information. That was way too much for me to say back. But I'll add, he's stubborn, vindictive, can be cruel and certainly ambitious.
And his hatred for the Church of Eternal Fire is pretty great, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh boy, are we sure we shouldn't have just brought Burchill? Sounds like well, one or the other.
Do you want a war between the elves and the Scarred Guardians? Because that's how you get a war between the elves and the Scarred Guardians.
Yeah, but that's how I'm here, and at least I can control my.
I mean,
Okay,
Burchill is from that Scarring God, so
Yeah.
So would that I don't know, does that technically count as domestic terrorism?
Okay, Gabrielle, there is one other important detail that you give to the party. It's like Emperor Lysander has 5 children. His oldest is Alistair Lysander, who is married. His second oldest is his daughter Josephine, who is also married. You think her husband held some kind of rank in the Scarring Guardian army or navy, but you honestly have no idea. You needed to roll better for that. And then going down the list, there is Merrick Lysander, Jamie Lysander, and then Minerva Lysander, his youngest daughter, at the bottom. And it is Minerva Lysander who is Prince Ares' bride-to-be.
Do I know anything about her other than that she's his youngest daughter?
With that roll, you do not. But yes, at the very least, this is not a man to be lost.
So I suppose the plan is to go in, play nice, not get ourselves killed on the spot, and then proceed to come home.
That seems boring. We gotta see the sights. Totally.
Perhaps you should see the sights and leave the boring diploma to a smaller party. Do all of us really need to be there? I feel like that just maximizes our chances of making a mistake.
I completely agree. However, I don't have a choice in the matter if I need to play nice.
Well, Lita actually does bring this up. Well, Gabrielle and I have to go meet with the Emperor. You just have to make nice with the Duke of Axiom. That'll be quick enough, and then you and Anaris can go... Or actually, you and Anaris and Lashanon can go sightseeing. And potentially looks over towards Lashanon, shopping.
You just want to torture Anaris, don't you?
Anaris just...
As you're saying this, you look over at Lashanon. As you're saying this, you're watching Lashanon. She's teaching Pyrrha how to dance. However, it's Lashanon teaching her how to dance. Like, make up your own mind as to what this looks like.
Booty, 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 rocking everywhere.
You know that scene from the Weird Al Tacky video where Jack Black twerks? I'm imagining it's that, but it's not Jack Black.
Oh, I did not know twerking existed in this universe, too.
It technically doesn't, but Lashanon is inventing it.
It's the creation of the worst form of dance ever.
Yeah.
Anaris, back to you.
Okay.
So, that perception roll that you rolled earlier.
Yep, that 37.
You and Pyrrha are out. You and Pyrrha are out ahead of everyone else, and suddenly Nymeria, Pyrrha's dog and animal companion, starts barking. The two of you look out ahead, and Pyrrha is actually the first one to speak. What the? She actually says in Elvish, "What the fuck?" And looking ahead, you do not see one carriage. You see 10 carriages, all on fire, to horses.
Ow.
Directly in the path that you guys are going.
Oh, it's going to get fun now. Thought this journey would be boring and dull as dirt.
We should head back. Let the...
Yeah, you head back. I'll scout around.
It's like, are you sure about that?
This isn't my first fucking rodeo.
Okay. Good luck. Now, roll me a perception check to see if you can find anything here. While you're rolling that, rest of the party, in transit, you stop.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Not long after that. Actually, with the perception roll you rolled earlier, Anaris, you can actually see the caravan of carriages and all the people you were traveling with down the ways. Like it'd take you a while to get to them, but you can. What'd you roll for perception, by the way?
Do you want me to re-roll the perception?
This is a different perception for looking around here.
That is a 33.
Okay. First thing is first. Pyrrha actually goes up to your carriage, Lita, and whaps on the door. And when you answer it, she wastes no time, and she says to you, "We might have something of a problem. There's like 10 burning carriages in the path directly ahead of us. I just finished speaking with Little Red. She knows too."
The fuck?
Little Red is a person.
Little Red is the one. Little Red's the one in charge of the Scarlet Knights you guys brought with you.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. He's like, Anaris.
Mm-hmm.
If the rest of the party isn't going to say anything, you.
Oh, hold on. So we have now just been informed that there's something happening.
Yes, there are 10. You've been informed by Pyrrha that there are at least 10 carriages in the path directly ahead of you guys, and in fact, poking your head out of the door just at the point you stopped, you can actually just barely see it along the horizon. You can actually see like the orange glow and the smoke rising.
Out of the carriage, and I kind of do a light crack in the neck, and it's like, finally. I was getting tired of reading.
It's like, Anaris.
Mm-hmm.
You search around all of these carriages and all of these dead horses, and interesting thing that you find about all of this. Where are the people? There are lots of dead horses. There's no dead people, and all of these carriages have been picked clean. And that you look for a while. You do not find a single thing. And then it's at that point that something occurs to you from your time. That something occurs to you from your time in the cyberpunk universe. A bunch of destroyed cars in the middle of the road in the direct path of somebody. What does this scream you? So with that, you keep your eyes peeled. You look left. You look right. You don't see anything. And then your time from cyberpunk kicks back in, and that is the only reason you think to look up. And it's at that point that you notice it is a very foggy day that has not escaped your attention. However, even though it is a foggy day, one of the clouds appears to be moving particularly fast, and it is going in direction of the rest of your party. It is not a glow cloud.
I literally get on the comms and I'm like, "You've got incoming,
and
fast and high coming for you."
Who do you call?
I call Enzo.
Enzo, as you're stepping out of the carriage, you use the words fast and high. You look up. You see the moving cloud. And as the cloud gets closer, you begin to see shapes in the cloud, beating wings. At first you think they're birds, but then they get bigger and bigger, and their form starts to remind you less of birds and more of Horus, as you see that these things have riders.
Uh-oh.
As you did not actually roll perception, they are all going to now take shots at you.
Oh boy. A new character.
Enzo, what's your armor class?
Enzo.
It is
500.
not high because I am a squishy
Lower than mine,
mage
probably.
boy. I'm not even a mage boy. I'm actually even less than a mage boy. That is a 15.
Oof.
What? It's like as you look up, you don't even get time to get a word out. A hail of arrows just comes straight down. Those inside the carriage, you actually do start to hear. It's like you look outside. Several of the Scarlet Knights actually do get hit. As do you, Enzo. For what is the damage of a longbow?
I don't know. A lot.
D8. You take 5 plus. You take 10 damage from an arrow.
All right.
All right.